The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The Book is Dave Sherapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are the Bostonian versus the Book.
You covered! You covered 12! I covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus the Book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sherapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
Just in case the name of this show hasn't changed, he's not the bookie. That's not what this is. What's up, everybody? How are you? Welcome to a Prime Time Thursday presented by Prime Sportsbook. Adam Bjorn will join us, Dave Sherapan, Matt Perrault, in a couple of minutes for our last chat of 2024 as we wrap a great year with Prime and lots of good things to talk about. We are live on our YouTube channel at Boston versus the Book. That's the same on X Twitter, replayed on Sports Grid TV, where Ben Stevens works. Ben Stevens will be on after we talk to Adam. And SiriusXM channel 159. Dave, your first hockey jersey of the year, right?
No. I just threw this on. I don't even know who they're playing.
Oh, okay.
It's an Oilers classic.
Yes. Okay.
Edmonton.
Yes.
For our Canadian friends up north.
Yes.
Who they playing today? I didn't see.
Oh, who?
Let me double check.
I don't even know. Are they playing tonight?
They are playing tonight. Yes. Oh, Edmonton's hosting Boston tonight.
Oh, okay.
How about that?
So that wasn't just a random thing then by you.
Wow.
No.
I mean, listen, sometimes you get really lucky. You just pick a jersey. You're like, I got to get something on today. I bet the Oilers are playing good. I know they're playing. They're playing the Bruins. Bang. Bow. Bookie. I've been called worse. Home slice. Been called all kinds of things. I don't care.
Bookie versus the Bostonian, Chicago, man. Just in case you're watching the show for the first time in Chicago, like just flip that, invert that. It's still BVB though, so it matters. So that's all that matters.
Our friend, Big Man Mish is what I call him. Big Man Mish, whatever. 6 foot, like 5.
He's
a writer for the Chicago Sun-Times, wrote a story today and mentioned the show. Only he changed the name. He took the liberty of changing the name to the Bookie versus the Boston or something.
Close.
I mean, I don't even know what he wrote.
Ross Randall said that on April Fool's next year, we should just change the overhead and see who notices. Just change it to Bookie versus the Bostonian and see if anybody notices.
The loyal BBB brigade will notice, and they'll come in the chat, which all of you should do as well. Get in the chat, watch the show live. It's a lot of fun. It's a pretty welcoming group. Just bring your good stuff. We got Butchie the Bookie in there. He's the bookie guy. I mean, by that route. We talked to people that work at books. We got a nice little network, like which we'll do with Adam here in a second. Adam's out and about different places. I mean, he was down in Jamaica. He's up in Michigan. He's been in other places. I mean, this is great. So this is our last Prime Sports of 2024. A visit from Adam, and I'm sure Adam's been called all kinds of things.
I'm sure. Yes, I am sure. So we'll get him on momentarily. And after we talk to Adam Bjorn from Prime Sportsbook, we'll get to Ben Stevens about the college football playoffs, which will begin on Friday, tomorrow, with Indiana at Notre Dame. So we got a lot of cool things to get into with that. So until we talk to Adam, let's get into what happened last night. For the first time since 2000, UNLV won a bowl game. They beat Cal last night at the LA Bowl. I can tell you this. That game was not meaningless to UNLV. I know we've heard a lot about the ending of bowl games. That bowl game was called meaningless by numerous people, saying the fake punt was beautiful, because it was. I mean, the fake punt was awesome. And meaningless bowl games, saying that's how you play in a meaningless bowl game, is you fake punts and you do crazy wonky things to win games. But for a program that has not won a bowl game since 2000, for a program to win 11 games, to lose the entire coaching staff, essentially, to have interim coaches and have Ricky White opt out and not play, your best wide receiver did not play. You can't tell me that game didn't matter to those kids last night. You can't tell me that game was meaningless to UNLV.
I can tell you personally, from coaching kids every game they play means something. It means something to somebody. And
Right.
whether it means anything to the gamblers, who cares? Whether it means anything to guys finishing out the year and coaching because they got another job somewhere. I don't know. I mean, you would hope some of the administration it mattered to, and they won, and that's great. But when you're playing football, you can't fake playing football. You can't half-ass playing football. So it means something. You could get hurt on every play if you're not playing football. So I don't know. It was one of the better ones so far of bowl season. I enjoyed the game. I was watching it.
Right?
Yeah.
We just started. But no, the game stayed under. I mean, Cal's quarterback getting hurt. They were on a third string quarterback. He got hurt with a concussion. So a true freshman had to come in to play for Cal. So in a bowl game setting, which is really hard for anyone to step into that environment. But on that track, that fit UNLV. It's what they do. They love playing on turf. They're used to playing in domes. So they're able to get after it. And look, I think for Dan Mullen, who now takes over this UNLV program, I thought it was pretty interesting, some of the commentary last night about how the UNLV job has been perceived or changed by Barry Odom, because they were one win away from being in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people don't really understand that as of yet, as to what the trickle-down effect is going to be for some of these quote-unquote mid-major or non-Power 4 programs with a shot to make the playoffs if you're going to be good. If UNLV consistently is 1 or 2 wins away from the playoffs, that's how they're going to get into a Power 4 conference. Because obviously they've got the market, they've got the facilities now, they've got a name head coach. The basketball program needs to pick up the pace here a little bit. Basketball has been lacking pretty dramatically under Lon Kruger's son. So.
I don't think one's related to the other, though.
Which football drives everything. Like football drives everything.
You're playing in that stadium.
Right.
Off the strip. Let's ramp up, like you said, the facilities, and the perception is more than a stepping stone job. And the landscape is changing so fast that, I mean, they were 1 game away from playing in these monster games this weekend. Now, whether they had a chance to win it or not, no. They weren't going to go win 4 games and win a national championship. But the opportunity to play for it will change the narrative and kids coming here.
And the money is here. I mean, let's be frank. The money is here.
Cash.
So if you, I mean, this is no longer illegal. Derek Stevens, at Circa, these guys who are wanting to support, he tried to keep the quarterback here. He offered to pay his NAL money. He said, I'll pay him. I got him. I got you. Like the next quarterback, the next time Dan Mullen sits down with MGM or sits down with anybody on the strip of Caesars and says, hey, I have a chance to land this kid. Will you donate to the collective? It's not a crazy conversation. You can have that conversation now publicly, and you can shop, and you can go and try to find what's best in the portal. And during the call of the game last night, I forget who was saying it, but I thought it was pretty accurate. They're saying, when you're at UNLV, you're going to have to be a player in the portal. You're not going to recruit with the blue bloods. You're not pulling this kid, a 5-star kid out of Alabama, out of Texas, out of Florida. But when the kid flames out at those programs and needs a place to land, UNLV may be a very good place to come and play college football.
You know where I would go?
Where?
The state of USC and UCLA football is not really close
They've
to what it was,
all.
and they're actually in the Big Ten now. So, hey, man, you want to come to Vegas?
Right.
Weather's nice, close. I mean, it gets hot in the summer, but your family, I mean, all the games are here, and
West Coast games
won't be hard for you to see. Yeah,
right.
You're right. I'd be in SoCal right now, jumping around and talking to people, and you could get a kid that might go, well, if I get paid the same or close,
right,
I'm gonna go here.
Yeah, I think I read a story that I think 10 of the top 15 recruits to USC for Lincoln Riley have left.
Yeah,
are in the portal.
Yeah.
So they want, they're just bailing.
But that's
left
not
and right.
unique to them. Like, this thing is changing everything. There's people leaving. There's every traditional power football places, destination places for both the coaches and the players, they're leaving them too.
How can Clemson exist with Dabo Swinney's opinion on that? Like how can they? Has he been proven? Let me rephrase. Dabo Swinney in Clemson making the playoff. Does that justify his take when it comes to the portal?
I don't think it ultimately matters to him, but it justifies believing in the process and keeping to it. And if he is able to do this, I mean, they've been in that ACC championship game, every year for a decade. I mean, they're in it. So they're able to do what they do. Once
9
teams
straight wins
figure
in it
out,
too.
yeah, once teams figure out that if you just win your conference and win your conference title game, as long as they still keep playing them, because I don't think they're going to keep playing them the way this is going. It's going to be a very odd thing.
Because I wonder if coaches, as they sit in living rooms and as they have conversations with parents and families and say, hey, we're going to do it this way. Like if your kid comes and plays with us, he's not going to get replaced the next year by the next greatest thing. And that's a pretty big, powerful statement. I think what's going to happen to kids who are going to go to colleges now as freshmen and sophomores, they're going to be worried about being replaced. Where, look, Colorado just did this, right? They got a 5-star top player in the high school portal, and they went and got a top transfer.
Yeah.
For competition.
Yeah.
Like if you're that kid, that high school kid, you're like, wait. I thought this was my team. And you went out and got a 4-star kid to come in who's already played college football. I haven't played college football yet. That's not fair. What do you mean? Well, hold on a second. So that's going to be sort of I think a lot of kids in families, frankly, are going to ask the coaches and say, okay, so if I sign with you, how active are you going to be at my position next year? Like, are you going to go and get in the portal? Because I need time to develop. So are you interested in developing talent or just simply letting somebody else develop the talent and you reap the rewards from it?
Two different businesses, right? There'll be clearly two different businesses. And I've had that discussion with coaches myself on a much smaller level about kids going there. Like, look, she can come to your school. She got no shot of playing the first 2 years. I mean, you know that. I know that. You tell her that? Right. Because if she thinks she's coming to school there, I'll tell her she ain't going to play there. They don't want to hear that. But if they know that they can stay and at least go to college, do the workouts, learn what it's like to be a college athlete, now they can leave. It works both ways. Like, that's the danger of it. So I think what Dabo's done is saying, this is what we're doing. You want to be in the program? You're in the program. I can't control if you're going to leave, but if he gets buy-in, that's all you want as a coach. That's all you want as a program. If you get that buy-in and they stay, and now you have continuity, now you have a season like Army did, or they didn't get no transfer portals. They've been practicing and playing together, doing the camps and all that other stuff. Teams that have been together are going to have more success certain years. You can try to buy the free agents all you want. I mean, like, Miami's going to be a perfect case study, right? They went and paid the most money for a quarterback in the country.
And now they're in trouble because they can't find, because the kid that they thought that they had just said no to them.
Right.
So he went to Oklahoma. So
now what?
So now what? Right. The kid from Washington State, the quarterback who was the backup to Cam Ward at Washington State. He put up monster numbers. So Miami thought, well, look what Cam Ward did. You can come here on the same offense. Look what Cam did. You could be just as good. And the kid said, no, I'm going to follow my OC to Oklahoma, and I'm going to go play in the SEC.
Wants continuity. Wants to know what he's getting. You just show up at a place. It's like showing up to a new school. I mean, you can end up like the Florida Marlins. We're really boom or bust. It's boom or bust. Like, I don't think that's a way to run a college program, but that's the way the pros run some of them, right? It's boom or bust. You're good until you're not. Let the free agents go. They want too much money. You know, the coach stays or leaves, and then you start all over. I mean, it can result in 20 years of mediocrity or crap.
And coaches turnovers. You turn the coach over. You can turn over the players, and now there's just no stability to it. Yeah, I mean, this professional sports thing for college, it may not be what it's all cracked up to be. I mean, you got to be real careful with this in terms of how we play, because if you're a fan of one of these college programs and you're doing it, I mean, Clemson's going to try to do it in a different way. Will it work? We'll see. If Clemson beats Texas, it's a pretty big statement for Dabo Swinney.
Yeah.
Not just getting in, but then winning a playoff game, going on the road and winning a playoff game, saying this is the old school, and old school still has some fight left in it. It's not crazy. I mean, if you're someone who likes the old school, you want Clemson to beat Texas on Saturday. That'll change people's opinions.
Old new school, like Wetzel says, Topeka High. I don't know how in the hell are they going to win that game? We'll ask. I don't know. That's
the one and only Adam Bjorn joining us here on a prime time Thursday. How are you, sir? What's going on?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing today?
What shirt is that, Adam? What are you wearing there? That's an old school. Look at that.
Oh, no. This is a Bet Chris Jamaica shirt.
Oh,
there you go.
Wow. That's a classic. There's not many of those in circulation, is there?
No, there's about 15 of them. They're all in my closet.
I need one. 2X. I'll wear it everywhere you want.
All right. So obviously we got a big college football weekend coming up. Just from a macro standpoint from you guys, what are you seeing? What's on the board? What's pinging? What's the news right now for Prime? Because obviously you guys have got a team involved in this that may really get involved with your gamblers.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Indiana, Notre Dame seeing the most volume by far. Clemson, Texas is on the low end, and then the other two in the middle. But yeah, we're heavy on the Ohio State across the board. Currently, about 75% of the money on that one. So, you know
the words to Rocky Top? Are you familiar? Rocky Top, you'll always be home, sweet home to me. I mean, you better learn it because you're going to need them. That's a big one. What about the total in that game, Adam? That feels like a dead under. That's low.
Yeah, it's 46. It's fairly well balanced right now. Early money. Seems like we got a bit on the over 45.5. It's logged on 46. There's not a lot of interest there right now. And if I stretch out the chart, the money line. Yep, all one way on the money line as well. It looks like 95% of the money's on the Ohio State money line.
Yeah. Okay.
So you really need Tennessee to win that game.
Yeah, it looks like the big one of those four at the moment. As I said, the Notre Dame money's coming in. Looks like Indiana's the one we probably want there of the underdogs. But yeah, Tennessee all the way.
The game tomorrow with Notre Dame and Indiana. Where have you seen? I mean, are they playing the total at all, or is it just all coming in on Indiana? It feels like a lot of pros are going to take the points.
So yeah, it looks like when you're at the 7, you're getting the Notre Dame money. When you're at the 7.5, looks like couple bought it to the 8. On the total, it's all over. They're betting on the over. Let me see what the numbers are. Log into the chart. So it's over 50.5, over 51, bit of over 51.5, and then we see a little bit coming back on the under 52. But generally, it's heavy on the over right now, sitting at 52.5, slight over.
One of these situations that's totally unique is that there's going to be NFL games going on Saturday at the same time as the biggest college football games to date are going on. I've been asked about this all week and talking to people handle-wise. Like, these college games are going to do bigger handle, despite the fact that there's two really good games, Kansas City and Houston on Saturday, and the Steelers and Ravens, which we know is a great game and probably the best rivalry in the NFL. I'm a little biased. But, like, the college is going to be gigantic. No, Adam?
Well, I think definitely, I mean, Jesus, Pittsburgh, Baltimore versus Clemson, Texas. Yeah, well, I imagine that.
Pro wins, right? The pro wins that one.
That one might be close. I mean, again, I think it's a matter of how the games play out, which one becomes closer, leaning which one of them turns into a blowout, then it heads to the other way and vice versa. But yeah, I imagine this is the one time where you think the college can compete. What's the earlier one? Penn State, SMU against, I mean, it's Kansas, Houston Texans. I mean, Kansas, while they've been walking through Ranger Upstate, they could get up early and get a big lead at home. But looking at the numbers on that chart, it's Houston money. It looks like about 75% of the money sitting on Houston right now.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that Mahomes is playing?
Yep.
Wow.
3.5 now. Got off 3.
I mean, Adam, you want to talk about an NFL move during the week? It's been a while since we've seen an opener from 2.5 up top to the favorite -3, 3.5, right?
Yeah,
Boys,
I mean, we laid Kansas City +3, +2.5. But funny enough, there was a big chunk at Houston -2, -2.5 as well. And then obviously that just turned on its head. And there's significant money now on Kansas -3, and a bit of Houston at the back at the +4, +3.5, +3. So yeah, it's money all over the place in that one. That makes them work.
We pat the back, in the room. You're like, wait a second, you got them laying 2 with the dog up top of the road team, and you got them laying 3 with the favorite at the bottom. You've created a nice little thing where if it falls anywhere in the middle,
you do well.
Kind of nice. That would be something. That would be one of those ones.
Where so as I look at it a little deeper, it's actually the opposite on this one. Bit of a Polish middle where a lot of the money's on the Kansas +3 and the Houston +3.5.
You've been out looking at the course. You got to pay attention. You're supposed to have this thing set up.
Yeah, this one might be a bigger, wider, ugly gap than we've ever seen for a while. So.
That's tremendous.
Yeah.
As a bookmaker, go ahead.
No, I was going to say there's not many times that you go into a game going, Jesus, I hope Kansas City blow them out. It's been quite a few years since we've been looking for something like that.
Right, exactly. We are all focusing on the NFL games, but there's like 8,000 college basketball games. There's NBA games and there's NHL games. From a bookmaker perspective, what the hell is Saturday like? Like, how do you guys pay attention to this many games?
You don't. This is where technology and where the evolution of the technology has come now, where you put up a number, you get both your hands, you go like this, and then you just peek every now and again, and then you just wait for the scores to tick in, and you just they grade them, the team grades them, scores them, and you just watch the chart and watch the the report, sort of good, bad. You have an idea, but there's so many games this weekend.
And it's the weekend before Christmas, and you try to respect that people maybe want to spend time with their families, but this business don't have no days off. You really hard. And then, Christmas Day's coming next week. We got 2 games then. We got a full slate of NBA. And then, I wanted to ask you, because you went to the Paul Tyson fight. There's a big fight on Saturday. You doing any handle on this Fury Usyk fight? I got to find time to carve into the day to watch it, but is that a bettable opportunity for you?
Yeah, this was getting some decent action. This line's fluctuated a fair bit. But after the rematch, it was sort of close to pick 'em because the expectation was that Tyson would come back and win the rematch. Then Usyk sort of got up to -200, -190 at stages. And then the last 3 or 4 days, it's back down to around that -150, -145 Usyk. So it's definitely, I think the first fight, and I've been a Usyk fan. I was on Usyk against Joshua the first time, a little softer the second time because, I had my good value bets on the first one. This one, again, I was on Usyk against Tyson in the first fight, but I was against a Wilder against Tyson as well. So, there is winners and losers on both sides. I've usually found that Tyson's not worth the side, not the right side.
Right.
But right now, we're sitting at -140 Usyk. About 70% of the money is on Usyk. But if I dive into it, we laid him as short as -200, as good as -138. And on the Tyson side, we laid as high as +176, and down as low as +118. If you've seen the pictures and that around of Fury lately, you sort of wonder, is he in shape, whatnot? But his idea is just to use his weight. He's done it all his fights, just lean in on the guys, hug them up, give them a few short jabs and whatnot, and see if he ends up there at the end of the count when the cards come in.
We have kids. How long could you do a staring contest? Because these two dudes today stared at each other for 8 minutes straight at the last face-to-face before the fight.
Yeah, none of my kids can beat me in a staring contest. My wife can't beat me in a staring contest. I don't know if I could do the 8 minutes or whatnot, but I don't mind the old stare down and whatnot. But yeah, it was a lengthy one.
Question from a friend who's in the business. He wants to know if the old man Herman still grades the games. Does Herman still grade the games? Do you know what he's talking about there?
I do know what he's talking about. I've heard stories of this, mythological things. It may still happen. I'm not 100% sure, but I have heard this myth over the years of this. This is what happens on a Sunday afternoon.
Speaking of myths, did you go back on the track with the greatest handicapping season of all time on the NFL on Sunday? I heard words that you had the game. No matter what the refs tried to take away from you or add to the game or something, you were on the right side, dead nuts side of the game. Is that true?
100%. Never in doubt. We never in doubt. Even down, I mean, we were down 17-0, or was it 17-7? But yeah, never in doubt.
Saints. You had the Saints last week.
Yeah, Saints at home, more than a touchdown. It was an easy one. And funny enough, Saturday afternoon, I'm looking at the charts. This one stood out like the biggest dog balls you've ever seen. I even posted before we went live that we have it. It's locked in. There's nothing going to change this. I even checked the charts as it was kickoff Sunday. It was still the biggest game of the day. And yeah, never in doubt.
Clock operator deserves a Christmas card from you guys on that one because you got a break at the end of that game. And but look, plus 7.5 was the biggest home dog for the Saints dating back. I think it was to like 2008. Was as long as they've gone back to them, been catching that many points at home at the Superdome. You just don't see it all that often. What are they doing with tonight? So you got the Chargers, who have been leaking oil. They just got crushed at home last week. The Broncos are 6-1 with Bo Nix as road favorites. You guys heavy on any side for tonight?
Heavy. Need the Chargers, don't need the Broncos. But funny enough, I was looking at the chart. When you're at 2.5, it's just all Chargers money for the most part. When you sneak up to 3 and 3.5, and we even had a guy buy it big at 4.5, it's all the other way. So I think this will probably sit around 2.5 because we're heavy on the Broncos. There's nothing that really I see getting this back to 3 at this point in time.
Total over or under?
Total very well balanced, 41.5 currently. If I open up the chart and take a look, it got a chunk at under 42.5, a bit at over 41. So it's a bit of both ways, but it looks like early in the week they took the under and brought it down to where it is right now. Slightly heavy on the under, but it's fairly well balanced.
Last one for me, sir. I want to just say thank you for doing Prime Sports Thursdays has been awesome. You doing this interview every single week has been awesome. I've already begun talks with Joe about trying to get this thing continued. But if it's the end, it's been great. And hopefully we look to expand more because you guys are expanding. I heard you on your podcast about Kentucky. There's no actual nailed down start date, but I told Joe if there's a way we can help you and get you customers, if you need a driver to go around to all these tracks in Kentucky and try to get customers, I'm really good at that schmoozing too. So I'd be glad to help you. But what are you doing for Christmas? Is there because I know you're going to be looking at charts and I know there's going to be chaos at the house and all this other stuff. What does Adam Bjorn look? What does it look like at the Bjorn house on Christmas Day?
So we are getting on a plane as a family Monday. We're heading back to our house in Jamaica.
Oh, smart man.
We will be in Jamaica for Christmas. The wife's already started ordering the meat with the curried goat, the oxtail, everything's starting to get rolled up. And then New Year's Eve, I'm heading to a dancehall concert that is being put on by a convicted murderer that got off earlier in the year and out of jail.
Wow.
But he's a staple diet of Jamaica for a very long time. It's a great, interesting, all over the place story. If you want to go Google Vibes Cartel and listen to some of his music, totally not my genre. I'm going there. I'm supporting the wife. She'll have fun. I'll drink the rum and enjoy New Year's Eve. And then heading back up into the snow, I guess, early in the new year.
Vibes Cartel. That's the name of it.
That's his name. Yes.
Oh, there it is. Wow.
Boy, we'll
Dance
dive into
Hall
that in
official.
bonus time.
Vabs. Oh yeah, we'll have to play that in bonus time for sure. We'll pull a couple of clips of that and play this for sure. We get things called super chat, Adam, and this is from the audience. This is for you. R.I.P. Uncle Mo.
This is for Adam.
Wow.
R.I.P. Uncle Mo.
Uncle Mo. No, I hadn't seen that story.
Oh, okay. I don't either. Sometimes Dave's Daily Picks has these comments and ideas in his head, and it sounds really good in his head, but then he puts
it is. I mean, so Uncle Mo was seen as one of the biggest prospects for the Kentucky Derby for a long time back some years, and then he went into breeding and whatnot. So, I mean, he's not an old horse. So that's some surprising news.
So it's a horse that passed away.
Okay.
Yes, it sounds like it. Yeah, I didn't say it again. Hadn't seen the news, but.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, listen, I just want to dovetail what Dave said. Thank you for everything you guys have done. Happy holidays. Thank you for doing this. I hope we talk to you again very soon in 25. Travel safe to Jamaica. You're going to be warmer than us. Appreciate you coming on. Enjoy the trip.
Yeah, definitely. We'll get something sorted out for 2025. I do actually have something heading out your way that should be on deck early January. So I imagine we may be crossing paths soon after the New Year's with some big news.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Adam, thank you so much.
Man,
we'll talk soon, right?
Cheers. Thanks, guys. All right, bye.
Adam Bjorn from Prime Sports joining us here on a Prime Time Thursday. We go from Adam directly to New York City. Let's get to the 1-2 Big Ten Ben. Ben Stevens joining us here on the Bostonian versus the Book. Ben, Matt, and Dave, how are you? Welcome back. Happy holidays.
Matt, Dave, doing very well. Happy holidays to both of you. It is a holiday starting tomorrow as we have the first ever 12-team college football playoff. So it should be a very ceremonious and historic weekend.
Before we do that, I want us to address this because you're in New York. So I need boots on the ground for the New York Jets and the clown show of the New York Jets as to the owner deciding to nix trades because of a Madden rating with Jerry Jeudy.
Is this real?
This is real. And the fact that the kid, Brick Johnson, was giving out team balls, game balls, ahead of the head coach. Like, the owner's kid thinks that he is actually involved with the team to the point where he can give Garrett Wilson a game ball. One player said to The Athletic, it was the most awkward, cringeworthy, brutal experience. What's the spin in New York right now about what's happening with Aaron Rodgers and the Jets?
You know, Matt, I don't have the pulse of the Big Apple necessarily or all that of the Jets fandom and franchise. I can say this. There is a great producer who works at Sports Grid. His name is Frank Martunik. He is a diehard Jets fan, and he is very, very upset that The Athletic, mainly Diana Rossini, continues to report on his franchise and his owner. He is very mad at Joe Douglas, who is this perceived source and close confidant of Rossini. He is really actively hoping that this comes to a close soon, that all of these horror stories about a franchise that has been nothing but a failure for the past decade and a half can come to an end. It led to a spirited office debate earlier today where we basically said, Frank, if you guys actually lived up to any bit of expectation and weren't riding a 14-season consecutive drought of missing the NFL playoffs, then maybe these stories would not be reported. Frank argued back that Joe Douglas had made countless mistakes as a general manager. So it seems as though, Matt, all those in Jets fandom are doing very, very well at this time.
Well said. And Frankie's been on the show. So you guys can go back and watch Frankie. You remember Frankie. He was saying that the Jets, he was very excited even before they started this losing streak of the hopes of the Jets that they're doing this thing. Thank you for that, Ben. That was outstanding.
Yep.
Let's get to the business at hand because I know you got a hard out in about 12 minutes. How excited are you for this college football playoff? Because the hype is real. We've been talking about it. There it is in all its glory. And there are four, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4 Big Ten teams there. I couldn't think of a better person to talk to about this than Big Ten Ben. Are you excited for tomorrow?
The most of any conference, Dave Sherapan, despite what some maybe down south would tell you about the strength and dominance of a certain SEC. I take that one shot, and then we talk about the history that we are going to see starting tomorrow night in South Bend. I believe, although it got a little dicey throughout the months of November, as we still get overly heated and correctly so at the CFP selection committee, in the rankings they release on a week-to-week basis, that this is exactly what we wanted. We wanted more parity. Check. We have that here in 2024. We wanted more teams with the opportunity, at least, to contend for a national championship. Check.
True.
It's the most we are going to see play in a postseason with the hopes of winning a national championship. We wanted more games in a bracket style. Also, check. And we wanted games to be played in college football pantheons, which is what we have this weekend as well, with the first ever on-campus playoff games in the history of college football. There was a lot of conversation this year between resume and schedule and metrics and strength of record and strength of schedule and who had you beaten. All right, had you beaten any poor Power 4 bowl eligible teams or teams above 500 at the power conference level,
Indiana,
so on and so forth. Basically, what we wanted was to make sure that the actual game results would matter, that if a team got to the college football playoff but was not worthy of said college football playoff, then we would learn that pretty quickly as well. So I'm incredibly excited and cannot wait for this weekend and the following weeks around New Year's Eve and New Year's Day and the following weekend of the college football playoff semifinals and, of course, into a national championship on Monday, January 20th.
All right, you got to be a bit nervous then, because after that great, long, and great monologue, if the Big Ten gets crushed and Indiana loses to Notre Dame and Penn State loses to SMU at home.
What? Blasphemy.
This is dangerous for you guys because you have 4 teams in. Indiana doesn't belong, but they're in. And you've got to prove yourself here on the road. And Penn State's at home on top of that. But
yeah, I mean,
you got to be a little concerned here, are you not?
Well, you're talking once again in hypotheticals, and we'll actually see the football.
These games are going to get played. What do you mean? We have 48 hours. We see all this stuff happen.
For sure. And based on the hypotheticals that have been presented, it would not be a surprise to see Indiana lose as more than a touchdown underdog on the road against Notre Dame. Would them covering the number change the perception of Indiana's worth in the college football playoff?
I don't know.
Penn State lost as an 8.5-point home favorite in Happy Valley to SMU, for sure. James Franklin should be fired within 24 hours.
Don't go firing people, Benjamin. He likes to fire people.
But I expect Penn State's going to win the football game, right?
I hope so.
Like, I think Penn State is going to win it. Dave, you know better than me. I don't know if this changes the narrative around James Franklin in winning the big one. They are expected to win. As a favorite, they have been incredible.
What if Ryan Day loses? What if Day loses
that was
at
where
home
I was
Tennessee?
Go. What if Ohio State actually loses to an SEC?
Tennessee.
I think there's going to be a ton of pressure on Ryan Day and Ohio State. I think he should have been fired after the Michigan game because that is how Ohio State fans judge their worth, even more so than contending for national championships. I do believe a national championship trophy can ease a lot of the pain of still losing in the game. But I think if you asked many around Columbus, they would tell you a national championship is nice. A college football playoff appearance is dandy. Getting to the semis of the national title game is wonderful. But we've lost 4 straight to Michigan in the game in our most prized possession, and it's now being devalued. So that will be a specific conversation for Ohio State. The narrative that the Big Ten has to answer questions based on the college football playoff, I don't think is fair. I think you could make the same argument for the SEC if they were to lose. What happens to the SEC if Tennessee goes to Columbus and loses? What if Georgia loses to Notre Dame, much like Indiana? We're presenting the hypothetical here. I, again, think that following the odds, Penn State is expected to win comfortably against SMU on Saturday. I think they should. I wonder if Indiana can stay in the number, just like many. But Indiana has earned the opportunity to be one of the 12 teams, whether you like the 12-team format or not, based on their resume, based on who they beat and how they beat and when they beat them.
Who'd they beat? Who'd they beat?
Matt. They beat everybody on their resume. That they were not an underdog against.
On their schedule. They beat on their schedule, right?
Matt, do you think Kurt Cignetti, and we should be previewing these games of a historic weekend, not arguing Indiana's resume, that nobody had an issue with getting into the college football playoff once conference championship weekend actually happened.
I got a problem all year with Indiana.
Wonderful.
With all year with them.
Wonderful. But Indiana is into the college football playoff based on the selection committee, based on what they did to the schedule that they had. It is not who they beat, it is how they beat them. It has been the argument the entire time. You guys live in Las Vegas.
So
Indiana
we're going by numbers now. We're going by home game wins, margin of victory comes into play. So we're going back to the BCS.
You have to measure it somehow.
I mean, that's a BCS measurement.
They played the teams they needed to play on their schedule. They don't get the opportunity to change their Big Ten
They
schedule.
played one good team, and what happened?
Yeah, listen to my words. Listen to my words. Listen to my words. Schools do not dictate their conference schedules. Schools do not make who they play with in their league. This was the first year with no divisions in the Big Ten.
Right.
Thus, Indiana out of the Big Ten East did not have to play the likes of Penn State. They still played Michigan and Ohio State. And yes, they got crushed by the Buckeyes. A lot of teams got crushed to Ohio State.
Yeah.
A lot of teams lost games they were expected to lose.
Do we
Indiana
need
was a
divisions?
double-digit underdog.
Do
Yes.
we need divisions,
Yes.
BSS?
No,
Yes.
I don't believe so.
Even
Conference
in the
championship
SEC,
games
we
and
don't need
divisions.
divisions?
Yes, you do. SEC too. All of them. They all do.
I don't
hate-
believe so.
I hate the way the Big 12 is doing it. I hate the way the SEC is doing it. We're trying to guarantee our best teams to get into the conference championship game, which should go away now because Indiana can get in. So if Indiana can get in, so we should get away with that. So we
Well,
should not
I mean,
worry about
Indiana
it.
Alabama
didn't
lost-
get into the Big Ten championship game, and the team
Right.
that was expected to, who lost as a 3-touchdown home favorite, actually benefited Dave Sharapan's team, who needed to beat Maryland and then walked into the Big Ten championship game and still lost the game they were
As
not
a Big Ten
expected to
guy,
win
aren't you mad
as
about
an
Oregon? You haven't mentioned about Oregon getting screwed at all. Like, are you angry that your conference champion, your undefeated team got screwed?
No. Oregon is the number 1 overall seed. I believe there are
What's
issues
the hardest,
with the format of
the
the college
hardest
football
draw?
playoff.
Whose draw do you want? Penn State's draw or Oregon's draw?
I mean, we're going to get into the same every bracket style, every postseason format that we have in sports. There are teams that underperform where they should have been better, and they then have to play a better wild card team than they needed to. Or a team in college basketball.
How did Oregon underperform? They were undefeated.
No, the draw that they now have to play in Ohio State, Tennessee as
That's-
the 8-9.
that's
Because
stinks.
Ohio State underperformed. If Ohio State didn't underperform,
If Ohio
they
State
would've
made
beat
it to the
them.
Big
But
Ten championship
the bigger
game,
problem is
Right.
Boise should never have been a 3 seed and get
Well,
the
that's a whole
bye that
other
set it up.
issue.
But that's
100%.
what
That's a whole
Oregon got
other issue.
screwed.
Yeah.
Oregon got
100%.
screwed because
I
of it.
don't know
Another
why
issue.
we're still doing this now
Right.
2 weeks after.
Because it
Completely
matters as
agree.
to how this thing plays out. Because it matters on the path as these games get
Yeah,
to go.
for sure. But Matt,
The
you're
path
again talking about something that could happen in the future, and the format fixes that need to be made in the future, and the issues that need to be resolved. That can't happen in 2024.
Right,
The
right.
reality of the situation is the bracket that we see. Yes, Oregon got a very difficult draw as the number 1 seed because conference champs, if they still want to incentivize that and make it significant, yes, they can give you the automatic berth to the college football playoff, but a guaranteed opening round bye, I think we are all seeing that should not be the case.
Yeah, that's
So,
that-
yes,
that's
Oregon
gonna
got
be
a very difficult draw. There is no doubt about it. You can argue Penn State has an easier draw. Georgia has an easier draw. Texas has an easier draw than that of Oregon. There is no doubt. The Ducks are still the number 1 overall seed, and they still have a great path to the college football playoff.
And it's
in my
it's
estimation.
no walk that they're just going to show up and get there either. I mean, Penn State did run
For
the
sure.
ball all over them.
You're going to
So
have to
this-
beat good teams now
Right.
in this format. You need 3 wins to win a national championship if you have earned an opening round bye. You'll need 4 if you did not earn the opening round bye. In the previous format of 4, you needed 2 wins. In the previous history of college football, you needed 1 win
One.
and computers to back you up. And even before that, pre-1988 or whatever it was, you needed magazine writers to look at you favorably and make you a national champion.
So we're
Stockton,
progressing,
yeah.
Mike. I mean, the system.
I
is
would say.
progressing. I
Yeah,
would think
well,
it
we
is.
have automatic bids finally, which is
Yeah.
great. I mean, we're going to
Yeah.
have 16 teams soon,
Yeah.
but we have 12 for now, and that's
No
how we
doubt.
got it. So
Um,
Georgia's got the 2 seed with Stockton most likely starting at quarterback. How does that change the handicap for you with Georgia?
I think it really does because I think Carson Beck at his best, as we saw against teams like Tennessee, in which Georgia won that game comfortably, and we saw the offense start to be on the uptick. You rely on a Georgia offense that has not run the football very well outside of randomly their 2 games against Texas, who is often an elite defense, except in those 2 matchups. I do believe if it is Gunnar Stockton, although they will have the necessary bowl preparation, 3 weeks in Mike Bobo's system to become a little bit more comfortable, to expect to play, but you also give the teams in preparation that are going to face you in the Sugar Bowl, either Notre Dame or Indiana, over a week of preparation to understand your limitations as well. I do not believe that we see Carson Beck in the college football playoff. I do believe Georgia is very susceptible to an upset, although the early hypothetical odds have a Notre Dame win against Indiana tomorrow night, and the Irish as a slight 2.5-point favorite against UGA. So I do believe Georgia will be limited offensively for a team that has been limited offensively this year, that will have to rely on a defense that has not been the elite Georgia defense we have seen the past 3 to 4 seasons, except in their 2 biggest wins of the year against Texas. So there's a lot of uncertainty around this Georgia team. And although their path is favorable, getting the winner of Notre Dame and Indiana, if many like Matt believe those 2 teams are susceptible. I would actually pick a Notre Dame team that I think will beat Indiana, but I do believe IU keeps it close. I would pick a Notre Dame team to beat Georgia in that action.
It's going to be interesting. I can't wait. Ohio State's doing something called a Scarlet out, by the way, which is complete travesty. They got the night game. Like, what are they trying to do? Before you go, I want to pivot because, college football, and again, it is what it is, but let's give the SEC flowers to the basketball because you're a basketball guy too. The SEC, is the SEC the best conference in college basketball?
It's not even a debate. It's historic.
That is where I agree with Matt. I do not believe it is a debate right now. I think the SEC could send 12 to 13 teams.
12? If you're going to make the number right now, Benjamin, do you think they will get 12 teams in? Because we talked about that earlier this week. 12 are worthy?
Sure. For sure. Oh, very much so. I think even the depth of the SEC at this current moment. And I don't even need to use some hypothetical number. Again, you set the over-under at 11.5. I think the over should have juice because I think they get 12. I think an enticing bet would be the alt over-under of 12.5, the over having plus money, because there are 13 teams right now in the net top 50. If you take that, you take the Big 10 and the Big 12 and where they all stack up in the net rankings and how that is going, which is the tool that the NCAA Tournament Selection Committee is going to use. There's not going to be many at-large bids available for any other league outside of those three. And we haven't even referenced the Big East or the ACC or anybody else at this moment. So, yeah, I think the SEC is on track to get 12. I think there's a really good chance they set the new record, moving past the Big East from, I believe, 20 years ago. And the SEC, as of this moment, is incredibly worthy in doing so.
There's a different level right now when you watch SEC basketball. I mean, the win last night for Oklahoma against Michigan was pretty impressive. But how down is the ACC? Because North Carolina, I know Cooper Flag's with Duke, and I know there's going to be a lot of hype going with them. But the depth of the ACC, it's like the SEC just completely morphed in, took away all the ACC power in Southern basketball.
Yeah, they kind of, I don't know if it's more the SEC or just the changing landscape for the ACC the last few years. Some titans of the sport that had really been the reason their programs were as consistently good as they had been over the past 20 to 30 years. Mike Krzyzewski, Roy Williams, Jim Boeheim, some of these, bigger programs within the ACC, or at least the current makeup of the conference. And then you take Tony Bennett into account for Virginia as quickly as, a few weeks before this season got underway in early November. And you just had so many changing faces and places in the ACC where I think that contributes to those brand programs that you expect to kind of be the flag bearers of your conference and league success that have just had so much turnover in the last 2 to 3 years where it has not been that. I'd keep an eye on North Carolina. I think they will figure it out. You look at the losses and who they have played in their 5 losses. I don't think it's as bad as some people would see just a 6-5 record blanket. I think Duke is going to be fine. Virginia's got its issues. My alma mater in Syracuse, certainly a football school now, has its issues on the basketball floor. Louisville is going to need to build things out under Pat Kelsey. There's a lot that will change within the ACC, but that's the reason I think the conference is lacking a little bit of success right now.
UNC cannot lose on Saturday at home to UCLA. Like, you got to start winning against somebody. Like,
got to start stacking up some more.
That's a big win for North Carolina. A big game.
Last one for me, sir. You're a California kid living back east. It's the holiday season. What does Ben Scott Stevens do for Christmas / Hanukkah? Because they start on the same day. I think for the first time in my life, my kids looked like they hit the jackpot last night when they asked. They're like, wait a second. We got Hanukkah after? Yeah, 8 days. Yeah, after. It's all working. What are you doing for the holidays, sir?
I'm going to be hanging around here. We've got a lot of sports grid coverage. We'll be working this weekend for college football today. We'll be getting ready for the college football playoff, and there's not a lot of rest for the weary. It's bowl season beyond that. It's work.
Are you flying Papa and Mama Stevens out? Or are they coming to see you, or are you just
visiting the sister out across the pond in London? So I'll be kind of hanging here. So it's all good. We'll be fine. We'll celebrate on New Year's Eve. We'll have a good time. We'll get out when we can get out. But it's the nature of living on the East Coast and having family back on the West Coast. It'll be okay.
Does the dog win on Friday or Saturday in the first round of these college football playoffs?
Outright?
Outright. Do we get a dog upset in any of the games? Or it's all chalk?
No, I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I think every dog could cover. So
Right.
If that is how I feel in terms of the spread, keeping them within a score, there is going to be an opportunity. Will a dog win outright? I don't know. If Indiana's offense is really good, as it's been most of the year outside of the Ohio State game, and we take Kurt Cignetti for his word that the Hoosiers learned a lot from that first trip to Columbus, and they continue to dominate on the ground as they have through most of this year, limiting Notre Dame, I do believe Indiana probably has the best chance. I think Penn State wins, Sherapan. I do. I don't know if they cover as an 8.5-point favorite, but I do think they win.
Yeah.
Tennessee, Ohio State to me is the one where like it's just a total of 45.5. So if the game is as low scoring as everybody believes that it is, you do have the margin of an opportunity to be within a score in the final few minutes. And if the pressure starts to mount inside the shoe, as we have seen time and time again, the sphincters get a little tight, then you never know what could happen to Ohio State.
Both quarterbacks in that game might play with the weight of the world on their shoulders and may not perform the way that their team, where their fans want them to. Ben, good stuff, man. Thanks for the time. Appreciate it. Happy holidays. We'll talk in 25, all right?
Appreciate you guys. Happy holidays as well. Thanks for having me.
Stevens from Sports Grid joining us here on the Bostonian versus the Book. Good to get him on the program, breaking down what's going to happen in the college football playoffs here for this.
This schedule's weekend. Messing up everybody's life with this. That's in the business.
What do you mean?
This power-packed playoff stuff has messed up. Like this would be a time where we're doing 4 shows. We're doing today, Friday, Monday, and Tuesday, and then we're not doing a show the rest of the week. And then you'll be back east. I'll be here. Still trying to work it out with Newbie, but it might not be able to work. So we might not have a show for like 7 days, 8 days. But I did the show this morning in Knoxville. There's football, Christmas Day, the day after Christmas, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, again. The basketball is crazy. The holiday tournaments, like it's a really hard time for the books. Like there's no time off, and there's no time off really for content people.
The other thing also is we've talked a couple days in life. We talked about this, but this has been one of the shorter Christmas seasons in the last 20 years. Thanksgiving was very late. Christmas is in the middle of the week, so it screwed up everything because of the condensed schedule. Because they would have stretched.
Retailers lost the weekend.
Yes, they lost a whole weekend. Right.
Literally lost a whole weekend.
And so that's in New York City, because where Ben is. Not this, because nobody wants to go to New York this weekend. But Amanda went to New York City last weekend for all the festivities. Everything was packed because it was the only weekend to go to New York for folks who live in that region who have an annual trip to New York City. Because the first weekend is December was too early. This weekend's too late. So last weekend was insane. Everything was booked. Everything was solidly sold out because of the schedule. So when it comes to weekends in sports and has how we stack things, that's how we're getting to Saturday. We got on the rundown. We'll do it all. The Saturday, I can't remember another day in my life that's going to have the level of sport to watch and bet on. And I'm 47. Like literally from 9 a.m. Pacific time until 10 p.m. Pacific time, there are major sporting events going on the entire day.
Football games.
No, just sporting games. It's football too, but it's Usyk fight at night. It's 2 gigantic college basketball games going on. It's the NBA.
Oh, yeah.
Slate. It's the NHL.
Right. It is the Equinox or whatever.
Beyond that, because we have boxing.
We don't have baseball, but we have everything else. Literally everything else that there's something is happening on Saturday. And
crazy.
In January, there's going to be days where Saturdays there's 150 college basketball games. So the volume wise, but like these are big games. These are all big events. This is, with poo-poo, PSU and SMU. It's a big game. There's a lot of people are going to bet it.
It's a huge game. We'll get to it in a second. The SEC dominance, you mentioned it during the interview, it has continued. Oklahoma, 4-point play with about 10 seconds left to beat Michigan. Hits the 3 and gets it to go with the free throw. So they win. This is your net rating, your favorite conversation. This is the net rating currently as we start play today. The SEC is way above everyone else in college basketball for the overall conference net rating. So that's the difference. If you're talking about why they should be 12 teams potentially in from the SEC, that's why. You may wind up getting it right now. OU's 11-0, 3 losses. That's the most. South Carolina is 9-3. That's the worst record in the SEC. They just beat Clemson, at the time, a nationally ranked team. It's a really good conference.
really is. And
It's a really good conference. Top to bottom, it's a really good conference.
it's
going to be fun
because I wasn't watching it at first, and then I got a text from Dave's Daily Picks that said, OU Michigan is great. So I turned it on and watched it, and he went, fear showed no fear. Like, he was texting me back and forth. I mean, watching that game was fun. I really thought at one point Michigan won it. Like, that was until that end like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm ready to put 12 teams from one conference in a league, but
There's 16 teams in the conference. They could get more. They could get 13 in. I mean, as it plays out, let's see who wins what. But it's not incredible. If in SEC play, if you see some of the lower ranked teams go on the road and win at places like Kentucky, like Alabama, like Auburn, you can get 13.
Play starts in a week, like or 2 weeks. So
Yeah,
they got one more run at teams that aren't in their conference.
January
much,
5th. Yeah,
so
we got that. For
it'll shake itself out, but it is good. I mean, you see the numbers right there. It's them. I'm surprised the Big Ten is slightly ahead of the Big 12, but it's them, the Big 12 or the Big 10, and there's a huge drop off after that. Like, you're not getting 6 ACC teams in. Be lucky to get 3.
No, in the Big East, the Big East is down. You saw it last night. UConn is not. I mean, that's why I was on Xavier last night. I mean, they should have lost that game. They're lucky to get to overtime. And
I didn't see 1 second of the Creighton game.
Creighton got smacked.
They just couldn't hit a bucket.
They couldn't hit threes, and Georgetown had their best 3-point shooting night of the season. They couldn't miss. So just one of those nights where you just.
I mean, the variance on Creighton is going to be incredible.
On the road, Jays aren't going to beat many teams on the road. No, without Pop Isaacs, I mean, you lost your number one NIL guy. That Pop Isaacs was the guy they spent their money on to bring in. Hip injury, he's out. He's done. So you're playing guys like McAndrew, who's a true freshman, who is 6'10" and a rail, and you're a jump shooting team. Like, the Jays are a jump shooting team. And when you go on the road, it's harder to hit your jump shots. And so the Jays missed a lot of jump shots. And then one of the kids for the Hoyas went 6 of 7 from behind the arc, like, couldn't miss. So it was, walk in the park. But I mean, I went 2-1 last night. So actually 3-1 last night. UNLV came in, they covered. The under came in on the bowl game. And then Xavier got to overtime and covered 13.5 easily. So for as bad as the Creighton bet was, the Xavier bet was never in doubt. They had a lead late in that game on the road against UConn. So, but the Big East is down. The Big East is not. It's not going to be able to hold a candle. I mean, the ACC's got a couple of decent teams at the top, like we mentioned, but really it's Big 12 and it's SEC, and the Big 10 will be in the conversation. But it's good. Those 3 conferences are going to make up the vast majority of the tournament teams this year for the NCAA. So
sounds just like the football.
Yeah, very similar. Yeah, very similar to that. All right, tonight the Broncos and the Chargers, numbers 2.5 or 3, depending on what number you get. Totals down to 41 here. Some stats for you guys. Home teams on Thursday Night Football since 2019 are 41-50-1 ATS. Why is that? Are the books just juicing the home team a little bit too high?
No, I don't know. The games are not really quality games.
Right.
So the home teams are favored, but only because they have to be. A lot of times you get the games and you're just like, what? I mean, San Francisco had to be favored last week against the Rams, right? We couldn't make the Rams road favorites on that. It's short week situation. Same thing tonight.
I agree.
Division game.
I agree tonight.
Like,
yes,
the Chargers got to be favored, but I mean, anybody looking at the game should be pick.
Yeah, Bo Nix is 6-1 ATS on the road this year, but the Chargers are 2-0 straight up on short rest this year. I mean, Bo didn't play great last week, but I mean, it's hard to argue when this kid's a favorite. Bo Nix is great. And as a dog, he's been pretty decent as well this year. This is the number 1 team in football now. The Steelers didn't cover last week, so they dropped to 10-4. This is an 11-3 Denver Broncos team. This is the best team, best team against the spread in the NFL going on here tonight. Our current NFL playoff picture looks like this. You've got the Chiefs at top at 13-1, Lions at 12-2. That should say that's a mistake there from Yahoo Sports. They're 12-2. Philly is 12-2.
Right.
Bills are 11-3. Steelers 10-4. Texans, who play Saturday. Steelers play Saturday. Chiefs play Saturday. It's going to be interesting to see how this all shakes out here. Ravens are a wild card. Broncos are a wild card. And the Chargers are also. The AFC game tonight between Denver and the Chargers. This is a monster football game tonight between these two teams.
Does that put the Chargers ahead of the Broncos? I mean, they'll be tied record-wise. If they win, that puts them in the 6th spot.
I believe so, yes.
I mean, because looking ahead, if the Steelers hold on and win the division, get that 3 spot, I'd much rather see the Chargers waltz into Pittsburgh in January than the Broncos. Yeah. Okay. Dave's Daily Pick said the Chargers win. They have the tiebreaker. That's good. Okay. I don't know though. Like tonight, I want to say the Chargers are going to get right after they get waxed. Like this is one of those ones. It's just like the entire content space, the entire world. I mean, to move a number off of 3. You know, you heard Adam. Books need the Chargers tonight. Well, the books needed a lot of teams last week on Sunday and didn't get them. And you know,
Chargers defense.
I DM'd Mason, by the way, and said that wave the white flag thing was awesome. Thank you.
That was phenomenal. That was hysterical.
On the show.
Chargers defense is the problem.
Their
defense is a big problem.
I think we'll find out about 2 things tonight going forward. Is one, the Chargers defense. They just, I mean, Tampa just destroyed them on Sunday at home. That has to be fixed. 2, Bo Nix, big game on the road. They clinch a playoff spot. They lock it up with the win tonight.
Yep.
They put distance for themselves for being the 6th seed. I guess they could beat a 5 seed depending on the way the Ravens games goes against the Steelers on Saturday. And they could jump ahead of them, which would then set up a possible Steelers-Ravens round 3 in Pittsburgh. Oh, I don't want that.
I mean, the things that jump off the page is the fact that without J.K. Dobbins, the Chargers can't run the football. So now they can't run the ball. They've put their defense in a really tough spot because they've played so many snaps. The injuries are mounting dramatically on the defensive side of the football. They've got 2 cornerbacks in Fulton and Molden who are both questionable with knee injuries tonight. Herbert's got an ankle injury. He's questionable. Quentin Johnson's got an ankle injury. He's questionable. You've got Hayden Hurst, tight end. He's questionable with a hip injury. Will Dissly, tight end. He's questionable with a hip injury. So we're talking about running back out, tight ends are not available, and your quarterback can't run. So how do they move the football on a Broncos defense that's been very, very good and last week extremely opportunistic? So that's a problem right there with the Chargers. The other problem is the Chargers defense, like I mentioned, has played so many snaps that they were relied on early in the year. We're playing 17 football games over an 18-week schedule. They're exhausted. And the Broncos are going to run the ball on them tonight, and that will set up play action. And that's going to be a really big problem because I think Cortland Sutton has a monster game here tonight, catching the football for the Broncos. I think the game goes over. I think this is going to be a dog and over here with a 41 total for this game. And if you want a same game tease this, go right ahead. Ladd McConkey's been great. I agree. But you're asking, I mean, he's one big hit away from being hurt too. He's tiny. Like, I love him. He was even on my fantasy team. I love McConkey. But I mean, Georgia needs him back in the worst way, but he is.
I know how to say Ladd McConkey. I put that Brett name back up. I want to see if I can butcher this one. Schlageter.
Oh gosh, goodness, yeah, enjoy that.
Schlageter, something like that.
Sure.
Brett. Welcome to the show. I've never seen you in here before, but
maybe you're a recruit. Being here.
How are you? With a B, we call the recruits. The new guys in the chat. More than welcome to come in. Tell someone about the show. We appreciate it. Put your phonetic spelling in the chat. I'm curious how you say that. That's pretty interesting.
So we have history with the NFC North. 30-10 straight up, 26-14 ATS against every other division in football when the North does not play each other. NFC North is 30-10, second best ATS mark all time through this length of a season. So this week,
Minnesota's on the list.
There's 2 games this week. Minnesota laying 3 at Seattle.
Put it on the card.
Take them.
The Hawk used to say it for the White Sox. Put it on the board. Yes. Put this one on the card. Yes.
He still says it, but it's unfortunate for White Sox
do the
fans.
games no more. He's done.
Hawk's done? You sure?
Done the games in years. What are you talking about?
Oh, Jason Benetti did White Sox
Yes.
games. That's right. I forgot about that. I forgot they did replace Hawk Harrelson. Okay, you're right. And then the other
This
one is Green
definitely
Bay.
an automatic.
Green Bay laying 14 on Monday night.
Smoked. They're going to get smoked. Saints are going to get smoked.
14.
Although Spencer Rattler's supposed to play quarterback. Thank you,
Yes.
Butchie. Saw that in the chat.
14.
That doesn't make me want to go, let me take the dome team outside in Green Bay.
Wait, I thought Green Bay is at New Orleans. No? Oh, okay. Sorry.
No,
Sorry.
sir.
Sorry. That game's at Green Bay. No, gosh, that's what.
Got invited to that game. We could stay at the Potawatomi joint.
Oh my!
But I mean, that's too
now
close to
for Christmas. Oh my!
I've never been.
Nor have
I've
I.
never been. We got people.
I've been to Milwaukee. I've been to Chicago. Been to Milwaukee.
I've never been to
Green
Lambeau
Bay.
Field.
I would love to go to Lambeau Field. Are you kidding me? Oh my! Yeah, Jimmy Jack. We ask the same damn questions all the time. Are they ever going to tear down the F1 bleachers? I have no idea. I have no idea.
After Christmas, I guess.
Months after it's done. That thing can't end fast enough. 3 and done. One more to suffer through and then get the hell out of town and never come back.
It's just a mess down.
Never come back. Please. F1, never come back. Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh, White Sox just changed the name from Guaranteed Rate Field to just Rate Field.
Oh, wow.
That can't be right. You're kidding, right?
KC from KC. We have to say sarcasm in parentheses.
Are you sure?
If you're being sarcastic. I don't know.
You got.
I haven't heard this.
You got to be kidding me. Rate Field? So Rate Field?
I think we should try to hook up with our guys in Chicago.
Okay.
We'll stay where we stayed last time. We'll talk to that guy. That might be a destination place to go see visiting teams.
It's not an awful idea. Good seats will be available.
We literally could almost sit in the dugout for like the Phillies when they go to play the White Sox.
True.
Or, any National League team goes in there, ain't gonna be no crowd. I used to love doing that in Pittsburgh. I mean, for years, I went and saw the greatest players to ever play.
Right.
And there was nobody at the games. Like, we
Do
could
you
sit
think
close.
Do you think because Crochet got traded to the Red Sox, that if Crochet comes back and pitches against the White Sox, people would show up?
I don't know, man. They're done. Like, it's going to be a hard sell to get anybody to go to those games.
He's not kidding, by the way. He's real. That's real.
Okay.
Rate
there we go.
Field.
Rate what?
Field.
I know. Rate Field, but like
not right field, but Rate Field.
Right. It's going to
must be Rate Mortgage. Maybe Guaranteed Rate Mortgage changed their name just to Rate Mortgage.
I guess.
Saying no more guarantee.
It's true. Clown MB3. They didn't show up when he was there.
True. Can't guarantee a win, so you have to guarantee your ballpark name. That's a good point. How can you
Cash.
How can you do that? That's somewhat decent.
Almost guaranteed that Green Bay wins and covers. How about that?
Wow. All right. So this is a wild sports day on Saturday. Let's just go through these games on Saturday because I can't remember anything like this. Like, this is one of those like stop and go, oh my gosh. Let's start with Kansas City. Now up to 3.5 against Houston. Patrick Mahomes is going to play. Andy Reid came out today and said so. Patrick Mahomes is playing. They've now gotten off of 3. This number now is 3.5. Professionals are all over Houston. How do you feel?
They were at 2. They thought they were stealing. Like Adam said, they came in and laid the 2 on Houston when they first saw that number. But somebody in the room at least didn't go to 3 because the questions that would have been asked if you got Kansas City plus 3 in this situation would have been, those are uncomfortable conversations when you have to sit down and go, hey, did you move that thing to 3? Why? Wait, what? It's like the conversation in casino. You're either in on it
or you're too dumb not to know.
Yeah, right. So now Kansas City's over 3.5. It was funny that I didn't mean for anybody to get in trouble with Adam and his traders, but like, you can't pull a Schmidt or yourself on one of the biggest handle games on Saturday. Like, this thing falls to Kansas City, 28-26 or something. And
which is really typical for KC.
Questions. Right. That's what I was like, when Adam said that, because I thought, man, this is a dream. Like, if you were able to take the bet, move quick enough, and get from Houston -2 to Kansas City -3, you actually have a really good shot that this thing could fall somewhere in that middle. And now you get off the 3 and they're still laying it. If the 3 gets working for you in this game, that'd be great. But Houston on the road, Pete Ralt, come on. They've been bad.
I mean, they need it so much more than The Chiefs.
Go Kansas City.
Chiefs.
Do you realize my day? I mean, like my day. We got to get
Hold
this
on.
thing.
Yes,
Chiefs on Saturday morning in this house.
Yes. I don't.
We're gonna. Well,
I have no sympathy for your house with the Chiefs though.
I said
Pittsburgh. I give you.
But I told them Penn State's playing.
Yes.
Penn State trumps the Chiefs
Without a doubt, 100%. Not even a question. Not even a question. That's not even a debate. One's a playoff game. One's not.
Thank you.
It's not a question. Which gets trumped. That's not even like a.
I'm trying to explain.
Yeah, that's not even you can't have that.
Kansas City to win though, so when Christmas comes, just crush them all.
Okay, why are the Ravens up to 6.5? Is TJ Watt not playing?
No. I don't think Pickens is playing. I was trading texts with Pony today.
So Pickens isn't playing, and that he's worth a half a point.
No. I think TJ may be hurt a little bit more than people are letting on, or
he looks hurt,
or they're trying to push like guys like Butchie and people to 7. And they want the 7.
Of course, they want the 7. I want 7 Pittsburgh. I want Pittsburgh plus 7. Everybody wants Pittsburgh plus 7. 6.5.
Circus at 6. Everyone else is at 6.5 right now. They ain't going to 7. No matter
Fields
what
is out too.
Is
that true? Justin Fields is out too.
I don't know. Did he take he took a shot, right? The last game.
Well, they're both out. Yeah, they're both out. Oh my. Pickens being out's a big deal, but Fields being out is okay. Well, I don't know now. That's a little more scary when you're going to ride with Russ, just Russ, and that's it.
Yes.
Yeah, but Watt being in doesn't really matter to me. Is he healthy? I mean, Watt dressing fine, but can Watt play? Adjusted lines are always available.
Yeah, adjusted lines are always available. That's true.
7.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not encouraged by the Steelers winning.
Since 2020, the largest margin of victory has been 7 points in this game.
And this one could fall 7.
Which I'm fine with. Which give me 7. We take 7. Yeah. Pittsburgh plus 7? Okay. I mean, the Ravens blowing out the Steelers would be such a danger indictment of the Steelers and where they are. Because they got housed last week against the Eagles. They get housed against the Ravens. Uh-oh.
What?
I told you what I thought would happen in August. I thought you guys would get out to a great start, and I thought Lucy would pull the football. I told you in August that I thought you guys would fall apart at the end of the year. Your schedule is brutal. You lost to the Eagles. You're going to lose to the Ravens. You're going to lose to the Chiefs, and then you're going to lose in the last game of the year, and you're going to wind up going 10-7.
They're not going to lose to the Chiefs. I don't think I understand. And they play the Bengals at home. And
you're going to lose to the Bengals.
What?
Yeah, I told you that in August. We did their schedule. I told you I thought 10-7 is what they would go. They got off to a red hot start.
I told you a couple weeks ago. I thought 11-6 would be great. I think 11-6 would be great as long as they win this game. They win a division.
Who are they beating?
If they beat the Ravens Sunday, they win a division.
This is Lamar's time.
Lock it up.
Here we go, Lamar.
Lock it up. Hey, Nuke the House is in the chat. Hello, Nuke the House. Huge Sherapan guy. We're huge Nuke the House people. We love you guys.
What's going on?
We'll get you on. Don't worry about it. Relax. Yeah. You're going to come on the show. Keg or Kush. Somebody's coming on. Good. I'd love them to win this one. I mean, only because that makes the rest of the season like
easy. Oh yeah, absolutely. Air out of the balloon.
Just relax.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna play at home. We're kind of locked into that 3.
Yep.
I mean, the reality of it is, all right, I ain't gonna pull my Pittsburgh card on me because it's nighttime in Pittsburgh behind me, and I love this city. Born and raised. I don't think they can win the Super Bowl.
Steelers? Yes, obviously.
They ain't going to Buffalo.
That's not a hot take. That's not a hot take, Dave.
No. No, I mean, but like, I just know that's all that matters. Like, as far as a fan and a team and all this, like, I'm out looking at futures and they don't include the Steelers.
No. Agreed. No.
It's not good. That's kind of it bums me out a little bit.
Okay, couple things. So we've got Penn State -9. Here are some things to keep in mind for what's going to happen on Friday and Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. While we have always wanted home games for playoffs for college football,
Mm-hmm.
the NCAA is not going to stop being the NCAA.
Mm-hmm.
Ticket sale revenue goes to the college football playoff. The schools keep parking in concession stand sales. Opposing schools get 3,500 tickets, including seats for the band, far fewer than a typical split.
Seats for the band?
Yep. Away teams have the option for a hype video during introductions. You can play a hype video if you're SMU. When you run out, you can have this gets booed to holy hell by the fans, but you never see that with a road team coming in, getting a hype video, getting them ready to go.
I love that.
You do.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. The home team staff will operate the PA and the music, but the entire thing is scripted by the college football playoff.
Really?
There's no ad-libbing, and Mo Bamba ain't getting played. Sorry, Penn State. They ain't playing it. So you guys aren't getting your hype song when you guys want it.
Man, you get some kid in there that's like Andy Dufresne when he was in Shawshank and just says, you know what? Lock the door. Play the song! Get him going!
You are
That's like
getting
being in Pittsburgh and not playing Renegade?
If you guys are losing and you guys need your hype song,
what?
It's strictly controlled by the CFP.
What kind of shit is that? Sorry, Will.
So it ain't a home field advantage the way you would think. There's no trying to shift momentum. There's no we're playing our intro song. There's none of that. It ain't happening. So it's really interesting. It's really like that stinks to me. I think it really stinks that you don't get that. The real home field.
I mean, so they're gonna control the ticket prices, and they're not gonna let you experience what you want to experience by hosting the home game. If you're a fan of the team and all that other stuff. I mean, the NCAA does a lot of things. They really find ways
to screw things up.
Sorry, Will. They find ways to fuck things up all the time.
Yep.
Cash it. That's 2 in a row.
You're right, Covey. They can sing as much as they want to sing and be loud, but there's no playing of the song in the stadium. They got to do it themselves.
They'll be fine. They start.
I'm sure they will, but
fans been doing.
That's your song.
Years.
I mean, I've seen videos. Here comes Mo Bamba. No, but I think they may actually let that. But there's other songs. I think you'll get times scripted in there that you'll get that song for. You know, the Jack White song that everyone plays in
singing them.
Those. But Mo Bamba. Oh, the band could play Mo Bamba. That's true, but not going to sound the same though. How does a band play that song? That's
big
hard.
Band. That Penn State Blue Band marches. They got lots of kids in that band.
I know, but that's hard. That's a hard. Seven Nations Army. Thank you. Yes, and I think they will play that, Covey. They will play Seven Nations Army because I think that's a typical. That's like the most generic white guy song to play at sporting events. So they'll play that. But I'll be very curious to see what the atmosphere is like on Friday. We'll know what the weekend will be like based on Friday and what the Irish game feels like. Because if it's sterile. Like, that's the thing. I've gone to, Creighton has hosted the NCAA tournament numerous times, and I've been there when they've hosted it, and it looks like they're playing it at the Chi Center. It doesn't feel like the Chi Center. It looks, it's all scrubbed. It doesn't look like the same. The intros aren't the same. The music's not the same. They try very hard to homogenize it.
Well, I mean, I went to bowl games, multiple bowl games for Penn State. It's a bowl game. It's separate.
I know, but you're at home.
They play the songs. That's why this is going to be unique because it's going to look and it is going to be Happy Valley and it is.
But the bowl game is for fun, right? The bowl game is designed to have a party atmosphere. Bowl games
were for death. No, that Rose Bowl that I went to in '93.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the presentation of it. The fans feel that way, but the presentation of it's not for death. This is for death. This is where songs, intros, this is where hype videos, that stuff matters. Like, you get college kids and college crowds that are going to be loosey-goosey and drunk off their ass, ready to go. That can influence games.
This is the problem. Like, there's no kids up there.
Well, no, there are actually, according to for back to school forecasting, according to Front Office Sports, there's been a gigantic demand for hotels and housing rentals in markets like State College in South Bend, Indiana.
Yeah. You know why?
They're all
'Cause the
coming back.
dorms are closed.
Right. So the kids are coming back. They're all trying to come
They're
back to the game.
charging $1,000 a night for a joint that's
Wow.
$59. My brother was going to go. He said, I
Right.
can get a ticket to the game for 100. I got to stay 2-night minimum stay for $10 a night.
Wow.
He said, I can't go. So the kids aren't coming back up because they can't go stay and crash at their dorms and party afterward like
Right.
we used to, or go out to the fraternity house. I can only imagine what my fraternity house is going to look like.
Look at that.
There you go. Joe the Fat Panda was in a D1 band. We were told not to play certain things during the NCAA tourney. What instrument did Joe TFP play? I'm curious.
Good question. Good question.
That's cool.
That's like, it's really
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, that is extortion. Yeah, it is unbelievable. I mean, if anybody has,
I heard that there's going to be 70,000 people at the Penn State game.
that's it.
You can sell that thing out. I've been in that building, and it's literally wall-to-wall people shaking tight at 111,000 people.
They're going to be 40,000 short.
Yes.
Oh my God. Are you kidding
26 degrees, nowhere to stay, hard to
SM.
get to,
me?
and
Oh my.
and the possibility of going to another game somewhere a hell of a lot nicer.
The White Sox. Sorry, I saw a tweet there. The whiteout is not going to be anywhere near what it could be.
Nope.
70,000 SMU. That's music to their ears. Wow. SMU might not have to deal with 110,000, 70,000. They can deal with 70,000.
They may drive down to the student section end zone, and it might be just a smattering of people. That whole corner,
They won't sell student
there's
tickets.
35 to 40,000 student seats in that corner, from behind the goalpost down to one end all the way up to the 30.
Okay.
Wrap it around that corner. It's deafening down. They don't sit down. So I don't know.
$150 to park at PSU at the stadium.
What?
Is that right?
No hotels in State College anymore either. All are outside of town. $150 to park. Just to park at the game. I mean, this is a big, they're taking for everybody. Going to Vegas on these people. Oh my.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I mean, we got proxy stuff to take care of, but otherwise, like, we'll have to plan better for next year, because this would be one where we get one of your RV deals.
Oh.
We get an RV. We go do a show from somewhere.
Imagine I go back in time to do shows from outside of an RV.
It's not like you couldn't do it.
Go call Bach. Okay, hey Dan, get on a plane. Come on down. Let's recreate.
Meet us there. Let's go. Let's
do it
go.
again. Let's recreate everything. Let's
Yeah.
go back to Alabama circa 2005.
Yeah.
Oh no, actually 2003. Sorry. So
wait, I got a 20-second timeout. I just got a text. I want to welcome our new fan to the show. His name is Bert.
Hi,
He's
Bert.
sitting there in Pittsburgh with Daddy, Robbie, Bet Rivers Robbie, hanging
Hi.
out, watching the show.
What's going on?
So, hi, Bert.
Are you still
He's
calling him
hanging out.
wrong side, Robbie?
This is wrong side, Robbie.
Okay.
Wrong side, Robbie. Yes.
Just making sure.
Bert is there watching the show. I
Hi,
don't know
Bert.
what it is, P. Roll. It's something about the graphics, the this and that. The kids love us.
Oh,
They
hi.
love watching
What's
the
going
show.
on? All right, so this number falls within the wheelhouse of your coach in James Franklin, who between 6 and 24-point favorites is pretty much a 65% cover.
God, I hope you're right about all this.
I mean, it's
So
just
confident about this? Like, I mean, BSS?
the colder the temperature. Okay, I wish this game was at night, because then we get colder temperatures. It's going to warm up as the game goes on, which kind of stinks. That's annoying. But I think we're going to know pretty fast. I think we're going to know real quick, can SMU move the ball? And if SMU can't move the ball, they're getting housed.
Penn State has been caca so many times in the first half of games.
Right.
I don't want this one to be in that situation. Like, the longer,
Of course.
if we get to halftime and SMU has belief, tied, down 3,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be a little bit worried. I would much rather this be 7 or more at halftime, which would lead you to believe that if I was betting it right now, which I haven't, which a lot of times I can't even get involved in this in-game nothing.
Okay.
This is just too,
Right.
because like
Stressful.
I
Right.
I just want them to win. So like
Mhm.
I'm looking through it through the wrong glasses. I might as well be looking through it like this with my
Mhm.
glasses going like this. But I think I take SMU in the first half.
Agreed. First quarter too. I think SMU first quarter might be the best bet of the day.
Really?
Just because you just mentioned it. Penn State's offense is awful in the first quarter.
So bad.
They don't do anything in the first quarter. They can't run the ball in the first quarter. They can't throw the ball in the first quarter. And SMU, most likely, if you go by, and I was watching somebody else breakdown of this, I guess Reed Lashley, every time they win the coin toss, takes the ball. That's his MO.
Oh, okay.
He takes it. He always takes the ball. So first quarter, first possession, scripted. SMU gets up. They go up 7-0. They could have the lead after. It could be 7-3 after the first quarter. So SMU first quarter, not a bad bet. You can try to do, and I've been good at this over the last couple of weeks, but you can try to do literally thread it if you want. SMU in the first quarter, Penn State for the game.
Right.
And then Penn State in the fourth quarter or Penn State in the second half. Like,
the move in game too. And you guys have, DM'd and emailed the show, askthebvb@gmail.com. You've sent DMs to me at SportsBK and we've talked and all this other stuff. This will be a middle opportunity, I think, because if SMU scores first, the game goes to Penn State -2.5 or 3.5, maybe. You can lay the shorter number if you're not comfortable with it. But if Ohio State scores a touchdown on the first drive, you just already know what the line is. I mean, that's exactly what it'll go to. So it'll be an opportunity to do that. There's so much good stuff going on Saturday, but if Penn State loses, I am going to be anger watching the rest of the day.
Fair.
It's
Penn State and Pittsburgh both losing would make a bad day for you on Saturday. Texas is up to 12 against Clemson. Where does this thing close? Because what's the resistance? Like 12 is a weird number.
Where does this close?
I mean, why not go to 13? Like, what are we doing? 12 is odd.
Let me hit refresh here. Sorry, I'll pause. Get this pop up and all this other crap. Wow. Yeah. I guess somebody's going to go to 12.5 between tonight and not tonight, probably tomorrow. If Notre Dame blows out Indiana tomorrow, the Texas money will push this thing up to 12.5.
Agreed.
Because it'll look like
the home teams, better ranked teams.
Yeah.
Clemson, Indiana don't belong. Yep. They both got up against good teams and got crushed.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. Butchie needs the Chargers tonight for body parts. He might need Clemson for 2 body parts.
Yeah.
Wow. Ewers ain't leading them to a 12-point win, JPC, the fourth set.
I mean, Ewers has an option right now on the table, according to reports, to go play Big Ten football next year for $4 million and to not go to the NFL.
What school do you think it's not Michigan? It's not Penn State.
I don't know.
Who's paying him $4 million in the Big Ten?
Purdue.
It's not the Purdue.
Yeah.
Got $4 million.
They're paying their coach $6 million. Yeah. They got
That's
it.
The coach. They're going to go pay the quarterback. Would they win one game?
That's what I mean. They don't want to. They want to be the next Indiana. It happened.
Why in the hell would you be him and go to Purdue?
There's 3 schools in Indiana in the Big Ten. I put Notre Dame in the Big Ten. They're the worst. They just spent $6 million. They got to get a quarterback. Go pay a quarterback. I think it is Purdue. First thing I thought was Purdue. I was like, okay, Purdue's going to go pay.
You're crazy, P-Roll.
Just saying. I think in terms of how you're paying money, I think Purdue would be the team that would go and pay to get Quinn Ewers up there to go play. He's available.
There ain't no way they're paying him $4 million.
Remember, Purdue produced good quarterbacks at one point in time. Okay.
Oh, no question. Drew Brees is one of the best.
Drew Brees and O'Connell. I mean, they produced round 1 top quarterbacks. So Purdue doesn't want to stay down for long. They don't like watching Indiana. Little brothers in the playoffs. That causes a lot of people with a lot of money to come out and go, we're stopping this right now. What do you need? We're not allowing Indiana to do this. They got Cignetti locked down for 8 years. What do you need? We're paying money.
Wow.
Just saying, Barry will fix the defense. Barry comes in 2 years, had UNLV 1 win for the playoffs. Fix the defense. Hey, Quinn, come play for us. Indiana did it in 1 year. Why can't we do it in 1 year?
Put it in the chat, boys and girls, if you're here, Chicago Kristen or Mrs. JPC the fourth. Where Which Big Ten team? Wrong answers too with funny comments.
Okay.
Will get noticed or read. Where is paying in the Big Ten? Which team is paying
Quinn Ewers to stay out of the
Quinn
NFL draft?
Ewers to go there and play quarterback? I mean, it got to be like USC or UCLA, no?
Could be, but it doesn't
Go
have to
west, young man.
Maybe go west, possibly. But again, I think there are schools like Purdue that are going to be motivated to do things because of what's happening in and around them. And Indiana catching all of this heat and all the excitement and all the money is not going to sit well with Purdue people at all. So
Nathan Phillips,
Ewers is not going to North Carolina. They just
Carolina.
got their kid. He just got the guy that they want.
Rutgers? Holy crap, Jimmy football. That's a good one.
Rutgers.
They're not paying $4 million.
This number has not moved. Of the games we talked about, this number has not moved. Why? Ohio State, Tennessee has not moved. It's 7.5.
Because you're getting all of the money you need on the dog at 7.5. You don't need to go down. Nobody of major significance has taken it. So I don't know. I saw Ewing. I saw Patrick. I saw everybody reporting about the numbers on his game. I mean, this is the biggest dog of the week. Public dog of the week is Tennessee Volunteers. I'm not saying that doesn't mean it's not going to win.
Right. I can't bet this. This is an under. I can't bet a side. This is just bet the under and walk away. Like that's all I can do in this game.
Nebraska? Would Nebraska pay that money for the quarterback?
Yes. Mm-hmm. But they have a guy who needs to leave first. They got the first ever 5-star quarterback currently on their roster.
Oh.
So if Nebraska's offering $4 million for a quarterback, that means they lost their quarterback, which is way more significant than Quinn Ewers going to play at Nebraska. So,
wow. I don't know. This number's not. If you go to 7, you know as the book what you're going to get. You get it all. You get all you need at 7.
JR, Indiana college football has been the laughing stock of Big Ten football. They're the little brother to Purdue. They're the little brother to fucking everybody.
Whoa!
to everybody.
Why do you get so personal so fast? For?
Personal, but I'm saying Indiana's the little brother to everyone in the Big Ten. Been the worst football program in the Big Ten. The worst. So, like, not basketball. I'm not talking about college basketball. I give you Indiana basketball has more history than Purdue college basketball. They have a better coach at Purdue right now, but Indiana as a program in football is and has been the laughing stock of the Big Ten. They are the Vanderbilt of the Big Ten. They are not, they're no one to worry about.
He said, I guess all Big Ten teams can pay their quarterbacks $4 million. Do you think that's true? Is that what the going rate is now?
I do. It's not even, I think actually when I heard it, I thought it was low. I thought $4 million was low. Cam Ward got 6 or 7. He got 7.
What? I heard he got 2.
No, I thought Cam Ward got more than that.
I thought Cam Ward got $2 million and was the highest paid guy. It's jumped up that much in a year.
Let's see if you're right. Yeah, he got, it's $2 million, but then off the field, he got Adidas, Bose,
all that stuff off the
C4,
field. Like,
EA Sports, Panini, and Giorgio Armani, which drove it up to about $7 million. So he's got off the field, but it wasn't directly through. That was in addition. That's like the same thing that Colorado is saying about Travis Hunter. That Travis Hunter technically got 0 money from the NIL collective. But he made $10 million. He made $10 million off the field in endorsements with all the deals he got after that.
I can't wait to get those kind of deals.
Oh God,
we just need one. If anybody wants to give us an NIL deal for BVB, we'll have a discussion. That sounds great. No. I just noticed salary. I mean, like, it's crazy what it's become. This has become professional sports. I don't know how you deny it anymore. No, like, these kids are getting paid to play.
Yes.
They can leave whenever they want.
And Bill Belichick is in college football.
Right.
Bill Belichick is in college football. To give you an idea where they are. They're in there. Vols money line is going to be a very popular bet, Fish Killer. I know there's going to be a lot of people. Look at that Mike McDaniel. That's tremendous. The Mike McDaniel avatar is great.
Killer.
That's
wow.
That's awesome.
Good work.
I don't know. Everyone's going to be on Tennessee money line. This is an under, and I just watch. That's all it's going to be. I'm just going to watch this game, bet under, and watch it because I don't know who. I'm really not sure because Ohio State could absolutely reconstitute its talent during this 3-week stretch. Will Howard cannot turn the football over, and they actually might remember that they've got wideouts that are going to be first-round picks, and they go out there and they curb stomp Tennessee. They have the potential to do it.
Before we get to bonus time, I just remembered right now, we were talking about yesterday, you and I off the air about hashtags.
Yep.
Tomorrow's our last Roll Call Friday of the year.
Yep.
If you guys are on social media, if you're not, go get an X account. They're free. And let's see tomorrow if we can, in the morning, Sonic will lead the roll call.
Okay.
And tag a certain amount of people, but he'll tag the show.
Okay.
Tag us, and we'll do a hashtag RCF or BVB RCF or BVB Roll Call Friday. You guys pick. Put it in the Discord. Tell each other. Text each other. Wherever you're listening to this show tonight, tomorrow morning, wherever you're at.
What's the official? Make it simple. Pick one.
Hashtag BVB Roll Call Friday.
Okay.
Spelled out. Roll Call Friday.
Okay.
Just to see what happens. Because, we've been tempted and teased and asked, for interaction and all this other crap.
Thanks.
I really
Rakesh.
hope BVB
Appreciate
gets NIL money. You guys deserve it. Rakesh, I hope you're right. We would really appreciate it. And we're hoping, we're trying, but we'll see. There it is right there. Sonic, good job. BVB Roll Call Friday. Right there on the screen for everybody to see. I read it. You heard it. If you're listening on a replay on Sirius XM 159 at night, early in the morning back east, do it in the morning. We'll do it. We'll get this thing going. There it is. See how easy that is? Guys in the chat, follow instructions. Girls in the chat, really follow instructions. If you guys are submitting picks for the proxy service and you're using a Saturday game, which there's 2 good games, by the way, get them in Friday. Send the picks Friday. I don't want no
Do it tonight. Do it today.
Shut up. Well, if you know what you like today, but like you got until Friday night, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific. Send the picks in. You'll make our lives easier.
Yes,
because this ends up being one of the hardest weeks with the freaking Christmas games on Wednesday.
Yeah, it's bad.
Pay attention.
Auburn's playing Purdue on Saturday in college basketball.
Hell yeah. Where's that game?
Huge game. Auburn's at home. Hosting Purdue.
Number?
No number yet. Saturday.
Oh,
So
I know. What's Ken Palm having?
It's too early. Ooh, it's a really good question. Where does Ken Palm have that?
Ken Palm probably has it.
83-72 win. It's a semi-home game for Auburn. So it's not, where's that game being
10?
played? Oh, it's being played in Birmingham. It's being played at BJCC. It's being played at the place where Alabama played. Where Bama played up
Is
against.
that bigger? Like, why are they taking these big games off the campus?
Because it's easier to go and get for fans. The big population base for Auburn and Alabama is Birmingham.
Oh, okay.
So you're going to a bigger arena, but you're going to a place where you can have an opportunity to watch. This is an awesome game. This is a kick-ass game.
Wow, D Stout is farming, and now he's putting in line 6.5. Wow, look at this.
Wow,
D
that's
Stout.
way. I mean, it's not, according to Ken Palm, it's going to be 9. So Ken Palm's got it as a 9-point win. So 6.5 might be a little light there, D Stout on Auburn.
Might be a little bit light, but I like it over to 7. I think we go get that Purdue money.
And we talked about UCLA, North Carolina. Usyk, Fury, minus 145 for this fight.
What'd you put all this weekend stuff for? We're doing a show tomorrow, right?
I know. I'm just saying. I'm just talking about this is just Saturday. This is just Saturday. Everything I just listed, all these games are Saturday.
It's going to be incredible. What time is this fight?
I was checking that exact thing as you were asking me because I was curious to see what the actual start time of the fight is because I know the listed time. 3 o'clock Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern.
3 o'clock Pacific. Okay.
Listed start time. It's in Saudi Arabia. It's during the day. I knew it was a day fight. So it's in Saudi Arabia.
Son of a.
I love
it.
It's
It's minus 140 plus 120. Take that.
I love
10.5 over minus 210.
I love the fact that we get a heavyweight championship fight in the middle of all of this, in the middle of the day at 3 o'clock Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. We get this fight. But this is like a cherry on top of everything. This is awesome to have this. hell of a fight. I don't normally go to sports books and watch stuff. I'm going to be severely tempted to go to a book and watch all this stuff because it's going to be like a swivel. Like there's so much going on. It's going to
be on with sound. They're not putting this on with sound.
I don't really need sound.
No, I know, but it'll be on a screen, but like it'll just be on a screen.
Sound. Yeah, just watch it though. Score it without. Sometimes it's more fun to watch it without commentary. Score it without.
Oh, I love doing that. I will do that on Saturday. We'll do that.
So you score it without score it without having to watch it. So really a lot of fun stuff happening.
I mean, you like Usyk?
Yes.
Yeah.
By decision.
Oh.
Yeah. He won't stop Fury. Same way. He'll win the same way he won the last time.
Okay.
Fury has to win by knockout. You could bet them both, actually. You could bet Usyk by decision and Fury by knockout if you want. That's the only way this fight's going to end. Fury, I guess, could win on the cards, but it's highly
You just said
doubtful.
Fury by knockout, Fury by decision. You meant Usyk.
No, Fury by knockout, Usyk by decision.
One by one by the other. Okay.
You could bet both prop bets. Both will be plus money.
Right.
Bet them both, and you'll get plus. You get plus. You can lose both bets if Fury wins by knockout or by decision, rather. You can lose both bets, but I think it's both. Fury wins, it's KO. Usyk wins, it's on the cards.
Gotcha.
Watching him stop Fury would be something else. If he stopped, no one stopped Fury ever.
Right.
I can't see Usyk stopping Fury. Guys, tomorrow, big Roll Call Friday. Hope to see you all back for the last Roll Call Friday of 2024. Go and tell somebody. Hang out with us tomorrow afternoon, evening, whatever it is, wherever you may be. If you guys are watching live, don't move. If you're on the replay crew, get back tomorrow with us for Roll Call Friday. Bonus time starts now.
Bang.
Hit it, Mikey. Oh, bonus time. That's why. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you this. Will the books take action on the TGL Golf League?
Just hearing about this TGL Golf League for the first time right now. What is this?
Really? Okay.
What is this?
So it's the Tiger Woods indoor golf facility at SoFi.
Oh, my God.
It's technology in golf.
Oh.
They're playing on a screen.
Oh, come on, bro.
With a real green and real bunkers. Professional golfers teaming up to go and play.
Oh my God.
So I'm guessing the answer is no.
Listen, again, we've talked about this and now we're in bonus time, so I can say it.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be so valuable. We're going to end up like the old owl on the branch going, you know what? I remember what it was like to go golfing on a fucking golf course. We're going to go in an indoor facility and hit into a screen.
Yes.
And then putt on a real green.
Yes.
When we could go fuck outside and do it for real.
Or you can do it with crowds and you can play 18 holes in an hour. There's no driving.
Maybe the kids like this.
I'm telling you, Vegas is going to book it. I'm telling you, books here are going to book it because it's being played in SoCal. People in California are going to come over and they're going to ask for it. They're going to want to bet it.
People will bet on anything. That doesn't mean it's good. But listen,
it's
if we
golf.
can make money on it, that's fine. People bet on golf. If me and you went and met like D Stout and somebody else in Minnesota that want to play for $5 Nassau, I would say yes. Like we could play. That'd be fun.
So the screen is a 5-story high screen. It's 5 stories high.
What is that?
Okay. The Indoor Golf League, headlined by Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy, kicks off its year on January 7th on ESPN. The TGL opened its doors to give golf media outlets, Yahoo Sports included, an up-close and personal look about the biggest primetime golf endeavor in sport history. Heavy on tech, heavy on spectator. Players competing will be, talking about top 10 players, Ryder Cup names, major golf championship winners. They'll start each hole facing the 64-high, 54-wide foot screen. On screen, they'll see the view from the tee box on any of the 30 virtual holes. They will swing away from a tee box located either 35 or 21 yards away from the screen. The real ball gets hit. You'll hear the swing. You'll hear the typical golf club hitting a golf ball. If the second shot is farther than 50 yards away from the virtual pin, the players will again fire out of one of those 3 tee boxes, one with fairway grass, one with 2.5-inch high rough, and one with sand. The 2 grass boxes are indeed real grass, while the sand is quartz, extremely similar to the sand used at a certain golf club in Georgia for a tournament in April. When the player's shot gets within 50 yards of the pin, the virtual action will switch back to reality once again, moving over to what they call the green zone, which is essentially a putting green. 24 players have signed up. This is Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy. I'm telling you, the books are going. I'm telling you, we're going to go and talk to our guy, Jeff, and we're going to go. And the Westgate's going to have this up. I promise you, the Westgate will have odds on this for the event in January.
Jeff can make odds on this. We can make numbers on this. I don't know if people will bet it.
I think they will.
I think people will watch it once and then we'll see. I don't know because
6 4-man teams: Atlanta, San Francisco, LA, Boston, New York, and South Florida. Those are your 6 teams.
When I was a kid, there was a professional tennis league. The Pittsburgh Triangles were the team.
Right. But McEnroe didn't play in it.
The top pros all played in it. Yvonne Goolagong was the woman at the top of. She was third with Chris Everett and Martina Navratilova, and we loved her. I thought Yvonne Goolagong was Wonder Woman because my parents took us to it because we played tennis.
Say her last name again.
Yvonne Goolagong. Google it. It's 100% right. Yvonne Goolagong.
And she was a top player in what year?
Late 70s.
She wasn't Chris Everett.
She was she was third, like behind them.
Okay.
She was
all
great.
Right. Okay. All right.
Look it up.
Yeah. But Boston's got Rory McIlroy. Rory's team, Nesson's doing a reality television series on Rory's building of a team. Who he's picking to be on his team.
This is one of those things that this is what my point was.
What does it matter that Westgate doesn't have live? What does that matter? They don't have live golf. That's got.
They're not allowed.
That's geopolitical. Yeah, it's got nothing to do with it.
No. They didn't choose to do that. The state of New Jersey wouldn't okay them taking bets on it. They can only do it here.
Right.
So they do it here.
Yeah.
But this thing that they create all these pro leagues. I mean, there's going to be a pro pickleball league. We're going to see names and athletes and all this other stuff.
But this is golf. This is Tiger. When Tiger Woods golfs, know what happens.
Tiger can't walk anymore.
He doesn't need to walk. You're not walking in this. This is perfect for Tiger.
This is perfect. They invented something that Tiger can still do in golf. And listen, just because it gets on TV doesn't make it good. We know that firsthand.
Right. ESPN.
And I'm just saying that we're good and we should be on other
broadcasters. Dave, Scott Van Pelt's broadcasting this. Like, this is not going to be small. This is going to be a major thing on ESPN in January. Major. ESPN bet's going to happen.
Dan Orlovsky's on ESPN right now wearing a cowboy hat.
Oh, God.
Okay. They got him doing all kinds of stuff.
Right.
This is fine. Mikey, awesome. Thank you. There's the wrench. Yvonne Faye Goolagong Cawley is an Australian former world #1 tennis player. Goolagong was one of the world's leading players in the 70s and early 80s. There you go. Now, will you bet on this?
I got to watch it first. I have no clue what the format is. I got to watch it. I'm going to watch it, though. They're on a shot clock. 40 seconds to make it 40 seconds.
You got a room like that's 20 feet big. Like, how big of a screen do you need? I've been told that, like, if you get an 85-inch screen in here, it's going to dominate the room and you ain't going to be able to appreciate it. Listen to
Right.
They got a 5-story screen to hit the ball into.
Yeah, it's huge.
What the fuck is going on?
It's Tiger is putting.
Is this open to the public? I'm getting in a car and going to LA and seeing this shit myself.
Yes, it's going to be crowds. Live crowds will be there. That's the whole idea of it. Live crowds will be there. The bunkers, it's wild. 3 bunkers in a small hill ring will go around the massive green at the other end of SoFi Arena. There are 7 potential pin placements on the green and 567 hydraulic jacks beneath it. Competition controllers can manipulate the green through a range of heights and slopes. The green looks like it's breathing when the Jets are in motion.
They're going to jack this green up and down, just like a lot of jacking up and down here.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Just telling you, this is going to be wild to watch in January. This is going to be, that's SoFi. ESPN's broadcasting it. They've got big guys like Scott Van Pelt on the call. This is wild.
I'm texting Stanford Steve, see if he's going.
Probably is. Probably will be. Yeah.
Save me a spot.
Yeah.
Come on.
Each match will pit 3 players from each team against one another in a 15-hole match. The first 9 holes are triples, with each team playing 3 alternate shots. The final 6 holes are singles, with each player playing 2 holes head-to-head against another player. Each hole has a value of 1.1 by carding the lowest score on the hole, and the team with the most points after 15 holes wins the match. Ties will be settled by a close to the pin contest. Stupid. That's stupid.
I mean, what
it goes from January to late March, right before Masters time.
That's phenomenal. I mean, this. Maybe they were right about the golf. I mean, they keep telling me the golf's the next thing and that people are betting on it and all this other shit. They're trying to make it so they do. Yeah. I don't know.
Finally, today, I'll ask you this question. Was Cody Bellinger high? Did he do his intro to the New York media stoned? Because it looks like Cody Bellinger.
I mean, maybe
was high.
Maybe
when he was talking to the media.
I've never been, so I don't know.
Cody Bellinger was not sober when he was talking to the New York media, having a good old time.
You have to figure. You've been playing in LA, bro. He's blunted out probably multiple edibles.
He's almost always
high. Joel, I don't know about that. But he went from playing LA to Chicago, and now he's going to go to the Crucible. We're getting to the game.
He got suspended by the Cubs for it. They claimed injury.
Oh.
Pierre said he's high as fuck.
High AF? I like saying AF now. That's what the kids say all the time.
I mean, I'm just saying.
You're guilty as AF.
That just
allergies. Allergies. Yeah.
That's from SNY. I'm not even that's not like a doctored video. Right. That's from SNY, they put out there.
Welcome to Yankee Stadium. Welcome to the Yankees. How you doing, Cody? I'm good, bro.
High as can be. Bro. If you're asking me, he's like, yo, dude, I just want to play baseball. I just want to hit the ball, man. Just want to play baseball. That's what I'm here for.
I'll play center.
Enjoy the ride, my friend. Just sit back and enjoy the ride. Time for bet it or book it. Hey. What is that? Why did that happen? That was a freeze on that.
Was that what that was?
It was a freeze. I hit it. It didn't play for like a second. Denver +3 tonight. I like the Broncos 6-1. I'm riding the train. I like the kid. I don't like the defense at all for the Chargers.
I'll take a shot. I'll ride with the books for body parts. I mean, body parts.
Books have been doing so well lately that
not good. Not good to be on that side. Walking
I like
around.
Denver. Give me the 3. Even the push is there. I like not 2.5. I like 3. Right. Get the 3. Over 41.5. You can get 41.
I the 3 now, sir. There's no more 3
ouch.
in the market. There's
expensive. That's what I mean. I get a 3, not 2.5. 3 last night.
Over in this game?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Chargers defense 4-2 to the over the last 6 games for the Chargers. They can't stop anybody. They're banged up.
Wow. Let's ask the chat.
And you can same game tease this up Denver, to 9 and then down to 35.5 and go over.
How does that not get there?
So 100% same game tease this.
I don't know. I got to go do that show later on Sports Grid. I think I'm going to say the under. So I'll say I'll book this one too.
Who is that benefit? Chargers or Broncos? If it goes on,
probably the Broncos. Right? Yeah, I mean, the teaser.
They're betting it under, but I don't think so. I think this game's gonna have offense. I think we're going over, but I love the teaser option too. Pull it down to 35.5 and go over with that on that. Mm-hmm. The Magic are 9-2 ATS at home. They have the Thunder at home off of the Vegas flu. Magic +6.5 tonight.
So we did our last in-game live for the week. And the way the schedule works out, I'm not doing another show on there till next week, like after Christmas or something. So I get all the sheets in the morning and I do the prep. I don't look at the top of the sheet, and I looked at the NBA, and I thought the games were yesterday. So show starts. Wetzel's like, well, there's no NBA tonight. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's a full slate of NBA. He's like, Dave, there's no NBA tonight.
Thursday.
I said, wait, hold on a second. Oh, shit. This is Thursday's games. I said, well, thank you for the update. I mean, it's been a long week. We're getting ready for the holidays, blah, 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 blah. But if you need a couple games for tomorrow, you could take the Magic plus 8.5. I said, that one is off. That's wrong. So this is an absolute bet. This is an absolute bet.
Yep. 6.5 now. It was 8.5 and 6.5 now. So it's pretty much stapled 6.5 everywhere with OKC.
That number was wrong.
Yep. Magic. Favorite thing about today is what?
I got a better booking for you.
Okay.
Play the other stinger, though, for the people.
Hold on.
Got to hit it.
Hold on.
Prepare your speakers.
I wasn't there.
So good. So good. Tomorrow we'll have something for Roll Call Friday. I thought of something today driving home from the morning. We're going to try to do something a little holiday special for the boys and girls. So we'll have that ready for tomorrow. But you'll be able to
run DMC Christmas.
No. Christmas in Hollis is so good, though. I might have to do that. But no, talking about getting involved with the brigade for the holidays and other things. The basketball game we're talking about is the Warriors and the Grizzlies. Big game tonight. Big game. Sidewise. I say Grizzlies. You betting it or booking it?
Well, the Warriors have been a dumpster fire. So I think you're probably right. I think that's probably the right side.
It was yesterday. It was faux. And that was the other handicap that I did.
So Memphis is 11-4 ATS at home. Memphis, yes. Yes.
Only 2.
Yeah, Memphis, yes.
Only 2. It went the other way. They tricked the bots. I was so excited when I just hit refresh. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
This is what I used to do. I put a number out there that they think, oh, I got this one. I got Dave. We got him today, baby. -4. They grabbed it all. It's gone. It's 2. This may close.
Yeah.
Pick 'em.
I mean,
Grizzlies are winning this game.
Circa's at 2. DraftKings is at 2. Caesars is at 2. Couple 2.5 still in the market, but 2s are out.
That's
2.
for the guy that needs the picks. I'm the book guy.
Favorite thing about today is what?
Favorite thing about today. Again, I apologize to some of you who have texted the text line in the past, 702-570-8255, and didn't get a response right away because we have been just balls to the wall for a month. Like there's been nothing but focus on the show, focus on growing the show, focus on growing the channel, try to survive. Title fights, exes fights, kids time. Like there's just all kind of shit going on.
Yep.
So got some stuff taken care of this morning and then went and looked at the text line. Rincon, got an update. Appreciate you, sir. We got a meeting tomorrow, hopefully, with the kid, the hat guy. I'm going to get some things taken care of. But one of the texts was from Lynn, and he said, thank you for remembering me. Someday, I hope to buy you lunch. I've never been to Vegas before, but hopefully I will get there. P.S. When you guys are doing Roll Call Friday, you are an absolute joy to watch. It makes me laugh. I said, well, there we go. Like we're getting the feedback. We're trying to find out how you guys consume the show.
Yep.
Because we've been told certain things about certain things and how many people are watching and listening and all kinds of other stuff. We're just going right to the people. We're just asking you.
Yep.
So if you can, put it in the chat when you're here tomorrow for Roll Call Friday, because you're going to put your 3-digit area code and where you're watching the show from. We've got proof ourselves. We have to do it ourselves. We've done the show ourselves. Again, it's Matt and myself and you guys here every single week. My favorite thing about today is texts like that from Lynn. In where is Lynn? 270. I don't even know where 270 is. Never seen a 270 area code.
Kentucky.
How about that?
Yep, Kentucky. Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Bowling Green, Kentucky. Well, based on Adam Bjorn's interview today, I have a feeling we might be in Kentucky sometime in the spring. And hopefully we'll get a chance to meet Lynn and hang out. Jimmy Football, this is my favorite sports show. That's awesome.
Thank you, sir.
Love it. Thank
Appreciate you.
So that's my favorite thing about today.
It's always fun when we get, my favorite thing about today is whenever we get press and people write, and we really appreciate you guys in the media who watch this show, because we know a lot of you guys do watch the show. So we appreciate Rob Meach for going ahead and doing that and putting us in the Chicago Sun-Times today. Appreciate Casino Reports and Jeff and those guys grabbing a hold of a quote from me and putting it in the story today for that. Algorithms and search engines and spider bots and all this stuff that goes into it, all that stuff helps. So if you are somebody who watches the show or you learn something from Dave or whatever, one, it's always great you say the right name of the show, but Rob didn't mean anything by it. Just it'd be great to get the name of the show right. BVB is good enough. You can just call it BVB if you want. But 3 letters, Tony versus book. But thank you to Rob. Thank you to Jeff. Thank you to the Chicago Sun-Times. And thank you to CasinoReports.com. It's always great to hear that feedback and see people push, because, you know, when sponsors are looking around and going like, okay, who are these guys? They hit the Google machine and those are the things that pop up. And it's, you know, our quotes and our information. And, you know, it's often fun to see who we're listed with. And, you know, the story is talking about, I don't think ESPN Bet would like it too much, but it's fine. I'm not sure we'd be in line for an ESPN Bet sponsorship anytime soon anyway.
I don't think so. Just saying.
So I love watching the bookie take on the cousin from Boston. Good point, Raj Randall. You're right. I do need to go get that Sam Adams sponsorship. That's right. Your cousin from Boston. The Sam Adams. Go get the Sam Adams sponsorship. Why not?
That's a bad idea.
It's my beer. When I drink beer, that's the beer I drink is Sam still. So I miss Oktoberfest, man. What a great beer that was.
I'll have a Sam Adams too. I used to drink at Sam Adams. I don't really drink too much beer anymore, but that's not bad.
It's so funny. When I was little, when I was growing up, that was like, I'm 47 and I'm from New England. Like, you kids who drink that stuff now, you think it's a macro. It was a micro for us. My dad drank Bud Heavy, big old tall boy Bud Heavy cans is what my dad drank. And so when we were all coming up, it was like, we're not drinking our dad's beer. We were the original. My generation, we were the original. We ain't drinking our dad's beer, people. You guys have all gone on to this weird like seltzer bullshit, and that's not, you guys don't drink beers anymore. But we would go ahead and drink the Sam Adams newest micro brew flavor that came out, and that was the hot cool thing. And now Sam Adams is the Budweiser of the whole entire thing. So you can get it anywhere. I remember I had to go find Sam Adams in the Midwest. It was impossible. Couldn't find it. Now it's just everywhere. It's just gigantic. So I'll drink my dad's beer. It's free 99. All right. Yeah, sure.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. No claw. I'm gonna slander the claw. Sorry, I am. You guys in that generation, I have no idea. I don't get it either. It tastes like dog shit. I don't understand how you guys drink that stuff. Just has no flavor. It gets you drunk. Okay, but I actually like to drink alcohol. I actually like to taste it when I was drinking beer or whiskey or wine or whatever. I like the flavor. The alcohol effect is the benefit, but I'm not trying to get drunk as fast as I can.
It seemed like it's like that milk machine that you were talking about the other day. Like, I like the process of it. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to just zip like. Yeah. You know, the claw and that stuff is like, right. That's the milk machine.
I don't understand.
A nice
like high noons, like this high noon stuff. It's like, guys,
shit.
It tastes like candy. Like I get it, but like, it's not what I like to drink. I like to drink. Like, can I drink something that tastes like alcohol? Like, what are we doing? Like, I don't understand. It's just
work.
I'm not trying to get white girl wasted. Absolutely, Chef Benny. I'm not interested in white girl. Yes, Zima used to be that. And getting iced, that whole thing, that's your fucking generation. You're young kids. That's when we saw you guys drinking that shit. We were like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, what is that?
I tried Zima. Did you try it?
It was horrible.
It's
terrible.
Shit.
In
and
college?
I don't have to worry about getting a sponsorship from Zima. That shit sucks.
It was awful. That's when you were drinking Zima or like Natty Ice. It was in the same category. Natural ice.
Natty Ice would like put hair on your chest.
No, it's disgusting. That was trying to get as fucked up as possible. You drink Natty Ice. That was a 12-pack of Natty Ice before you went out, and you just got fucking blackout drunk. Like that's what that was. When I was in college, my roommate and I would get a 12-pack of Natty Ice, 6 each, and we were just trashed. Like, absolutely didn't care what it tasted like. Just get trashed. Because at the time, I think it was like 6.8% alcohol. Natural Ice. Like, it was really strong for beer, and it just wrecked you. You just were stumbling down drunk consistently. And then the Jolly Rancher. I saw someone play the Zima Jolly Rancher. That was the trick they would do for the girls. Like, like the Zima here, put a Jolly Rancher in that, and they drink that. And they liked it because it was sweet and it was easier to drink. Zimas were like 8.1% alcohol.
What did you say? That's what brought the co-eds. Zima.
It absolutely.
I mean, you had to figure out ways, I guess, back then. You're right. But I mean, there's another good analogy there. You guys drank Tab. Did you drink Tab? Did you ever try Tab?
Yes, I was born in 1977. Of course, I tried Tab. Tasted like shit then too. It was horrible.
I mean, grandmother it tasted like rust out of the can, and then that goddamn. It was a citrusy flavor, something tasted like shit.
Remember Molson Ice? Molson Ice was the next iteration. They tried to make it a little bit like it tasted a little bit better. Boone's Farm. Now we're talking about the girl drink of UMass. Boone's Farm was the UMass party girl, white girl wasted. That was our version of White Claw. Was Boone's Farm. You ever had that?
Stuff in the box?
No, that's box wine. That shit's horrible. Boone's Farm is in a glass bottle. But it was hangover in a jar. Like, your head was like, you wake up in the morning going like, oh my God. Mad Dog 4040. I'm not going to rip on Mad Dog 4040 though. Okay. You want to talk about like, you're broke and you need to get fucked up. You just go buy a $5 bottle of Mad Dog 4040 and you were good for the night. That ruined you fast. That stuff was strong as shit. It was like, oh God, that was bad. Throwing that stuff up the way it came back up was not good. That was not something you'd want to do. I fucked you up big time. That was
and good. Now I got kids in college, and like they talk about this stuff, and I just look at them like, you dumbasses. You're gonna do all this, like if you're gonna do any of that, you're gonna do it in this house.
Oh, 2020. It was Mad Dog 2020. Thank you. I thought not 4040. Sorry, it was 2020. I was doubling it. Friends. Oh, Steve. Yes, I have done that. Franzia box wine. There's the box wine.
Frankie, what are you talking about? Chugging?
Yeah. We used to do
chug it
like keg stands, but just do it with wine.
Is that a dog in Gramke's?
Yes, I think
Avatar. So. I feel like he's looking right at me.
I think so.
Holy shit!
Slap the bag. Yep. You just go ahead and you just keep it going. Yep. Box races. This is state school stuff, Ross. Yeah. Box races were state school stuff, like UMass stuff. Like, if you went to a highfalutin school, you probably weren't doing box races with.
Well, no, they did everything at Penn State. I mean, but we didn't do this. I just know
I bet people did it. I mean, you may not have done it. I bet people did.
Right. I probably left. Whatever was going on, but like,
the
headache from the time I had the box wine.
Oh God.
I said
bad.
I don't know what that was,
but never again.
And I tolerated it while we were drinking it.
Okay,
but. The guy was playing a symphony in my head, pounding just the drums, and it didn't stop. Like the whole day, I was like, I'm never drinking that again. It was one and done. It was a one and done.
That's a good line. You can't spell Quinnipiac without QU. That's good. I like that. That's good.
Liquor without QU. Nice word.
I like that. I like that. That's good.
State New York.
Fun school with Quinnipiac. Guys, thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Big roll call Friday tomorrow, the final one of 2024. 3 shows left in the year. Last roll call Friday. Thank you to Adam Bjorn for coming in. Good job by Ben Stevens at Sports Grid for being here as well. Prime Thursday, Prime Sportsbook. Thank you for everything. I'm excited to find out why Adam's coming to Vegas. That's going to be fun. Find out what they're doing here in Vegas in January. That's going to be neat while they're coming in. We're back tomorrow. Dave, Matt. Roll call Friday tomorrow.
Last one of the year, boys.